Chapter 971. Ah, Yi Chenfeng, you grab my breast again, get lost. Xiao Wendy, who was still in shock, suddenly felt a numbing sensation coming from her chest. Her eyes immediately widened. When she lowered her head to look, she discovered that her right breast was tightly grabbed by Yi Chenfeng. Her cheeks immediately flushed red, and she sent Yi Chenfeng flying with a palm. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Xiao Wendy. How could you treat your savior like this? If I had not risked my life to save you, you would have already died. Yi Chenfeng clutched his aching chest and said loudly, Yi Chenfeng, let me ask you, did you touch my breasts on purpose? Xiao Wendy flew into a rage out of humiliation. If not for the fact that they were in the universe realm, and Xiao Wendy did not dare to act rashly, she would have already taught Yi Chenfeng a lesson. Xiao Wendy, don't slander me. I really did not do it on purpose. Furthermore, my hand touched your breasts. Didn't your breasts also touch my hand? Why are you so agitated? Yi Chenfeng rubbed his nose and said, You. Xiao Wendy was so angry that her whole body trembled. The flames in her eyes seemed to want to melt him. All right, Xiao Wendy, don't look at me like that. Let's analyze who was the one that wanted to kill you at the last moment. In the universe realm, Yi Chenfeng was not afraid that Xiao Wendy would do anything to him, and suggested softly. Needless to say, the hand that attacked me at the last moment was definitely related to the heaven race. They would definitely not let me fuse with my ancestors' nirvana heart and break through to level 6 Beast Emperor. Xiao Wendy did not dare to make a move in the universe realm, so she could only endure the anger in her heart, and said while grinding her teeth, Heaven race. Could it be that there were still heaven race experts in Xingluo continent? After confirming his suspicions, Yi Chenfeng increasingly felt that the star Luo continent still hid many secrets and dangers that no one knew about. He did not know, but Xingluo Heaven City was the foundation of the heaven race. If Xingluo Heaven City was attacked, it might unlock many secrets of Xingluo continent. Xiao Wendy shook her head and said, Amen, I plan to first go to the Dark Azura Temple and subdue them. Then, I'll head to the True Demon Tribe and destroy that place. Then, I'll gather the forces of all sides and attack Xingluo Heavenly City together. I'll seize control of Xingluo Heavenly City. Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, Yi Chenfeng, you can't be thinking of becoming the city lord of Xingluo Sky City, right? Xiao Wendy asked with wide eyes. Do you think that I am not qualified to be the city lord of Xingluo Heavenly City? Yi Chenfeng asked with a faint smile. Xiao Wendy shook her head and said, I am worried about the girls in Heaven City. Running into a lecherous Chengzhu, their fate will be so miserable. Yi Chenfeng, just as Kong Sungqian and the others were worried about Yi Chenfeng's safety, the two of them left the Qinquan realm and appeared in the slowly recovering void. Phew, great, they're fine. Looking at Yi Chenfeng and Xiao Wendy, Kong Sungqian and the others breathed a sigh of relief. But as smart people, they did not ask about Yi Chenfeng's secret. Let's go. Let's get out of here first. After speaking, Yi Chenfeng and the others left the chaotic Cloud Peak, which was shaved off by Tian Fa. Fresh Breeze Town was a small town situated beside a green mountain. Its people were simple and honest, and it was very quiet. After leaving the chaotic Cloud Peak, Yi Chenfeng and the others came here to rest. After recuperating for 3 days, Xiao Wendy consolidated her level 6 combat Beast Emperor realm and fully comprehended the Tao intent in her body. After comprehending the Tao intent in the human form of Tian Fa, Xiao Wendy cultivated the life and death Tao pattern and the star Tao pattern to 120, which greatly increased the power of the two Tao patterns. If Xiao Wendy could cultivate the two Tao patterns to 200, then her Tao pattern would transform into a spirit gray Tao pattern, and its power would increase by leaps and bounds. However, it was almost impossible to cultivate a spirit gray Tao pattern in a low-grade realm. If it wasn't for Xiao Wendy's Tian Fa being too heaven-defying, her comprehension of the two Tao patterns would have remained at 100. Xiao Wendy's comprehension of the star Tao pattern and the life and death Tao pattern had increased by a level. Her comprehension of the heavenly Tao had also increased greatly, and she had cultivated 40 heavenly Tao patterns. We are really old. Compared to you, my 10,000 years of life were wasted. Jiang Xingxin sighed with emotion as he looked at Xiao Piedai. Xiao Piedai's temperament was completely natural, and her every movement could cause great changes in the world. She had become even more beautiful. Although he had also broken through to the level 6 combat Beast Emperor realm, he felt that no matter if it was strength or comprehension of Tao intent, he was far inferior to this junior. Thanks to all of you seniors protecting me, I was able to successfully pass through the Tian FA and break through to the level 6 combat Beast Emperor realm. Xiao Wendy smiled sweetly and said gratefully, Wendy, you should be thanking Qingfeng. It was him who risked his life to save you. Kong Sungchun looked at Yi Chunfeng and Xiao Wendy, who were like dragons and phoenixes among men, and wanted to matchmake them. Yi Chunfeng, thank you. Thank you for saving me. Xiao Wendy revealed her cute little dimples and said sweetly, in order to thank you, I am willing to share my gains from the Tian FA with you. What do you want to do? Yi Chunfeng looked at Xiao Wendy, whose eyes were curved into crescents, and asked cautiously, as if he didn't recognize her anymore. Yi Chunfeng, am I that scary? Xiao Wendy smiled, more beautiful than flowers, and said, but in order to let you have a deeper understanding of my gains from the Tian FA, I am prepared to teach you everything during the competition. No way. Seeing the slyness in Xiao Wendy's eyes, Yi Chunfeng knew what she wanted to do, so he rejected her without hesitation. Xiao Wendy's current strength was far beyond Yi Chunfeng's. Competing with her was no different than asking for a beating. Yi Chunfeng, if you refuse my good intentions, I will be very sad. Xiao Wendy said pitifully, are you afraid that I still don't believe my sincerity? I just want to share my gains from the Tian FA in the competition to thank you for your kindness. Is that not okay? No, Yi Chunfeng said with absolute certainty. A man can't say no. Xiao Wendy smiled like a flower and said, Yi Chunfeng, are you a man or not? Yi Chunfeng, if you really want to compete, then come to my Qingquan realm. Yi Chunfeng looked at Xiao Wendy, who was harboring evil intentions, and said lightly, Humph, coward. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng didn't take the bait, Xiao Wendy didn't force him, but a victorious smile appeared on her face. Chunfeng, what are you going to do next? Kong Sungchin gently shook his head and asked, we have already been exposed. In order to avoid their revenge, I'm going to attack them immediately. First, I will go to the Sun Luo Temple and subdue them. Then, I will learn the location of the true demon clan from them and eradicate the true demon clan. Then, I will gather all of my power to seize control of Xingluo Sky City and destroy the Sky Clan's inheritance. Yi Chunfeng said, okay, since you already have a plan, then we will fully cooperate with you. Kong Sungchin and the other two said, it is time to return the Xingluo continent to a new world. Then there is no time to lose. Let's go to the Sun Luo Temple now. After speaking, Yi Chunfeng and the others left Fresh Breeze Town and went to the Sun Luo Temple. The real final battle had begun. Mobile reading site, book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 972. Shengzi Lake was a vast inland lake in the Xingluo continent. It had picturesque scenery and was known as one of the 7 secluded 8 sceneries of the Xingluo continent. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Shengzi Lake's scenery was extremely beautiful, but very few people could appreciate its beauty. This was because Shengzi Lake was a forbidden area in the Xingluo continent. One of the superpowers of the Xingluo continent, Sun Luo Temple, was located on the island in the middle of Shengzi Lake. At this moment, there were faintly discernible runes floating in Shengzi Lake. After failing to kill Yi Chunfeng and the others outside the Xingluo Imperial Tomb, Sun Luo Temple's defense had reached the highest level. Master, do you think they will take revenge on us? Sun Luo Temple's master, Sun Ming, was wearing a black silk dress. She was taller than an average man. Although her appearance was average, She had a hot body. Very few people had seen Sun Luo Temple's true appearance, and even fewer people knew that the terrifying Sun Luo Temple's master was a woman. Yes, they will definitely take revenge on us, and they will take action against us first. Although Sun Luo Temple's mainstay, Sun Tu, did not participate in the attack outside the Xingluo Imperial Tomb, he, who had lived for almost 10,000 years, could clearly see through many things. Master, do you think if Sun Luo Temple were to take revenge on us, Xingluo Sky City and the true demon clan would come and help us? Sun Ming lost his usual composure and said helplessly, "Sai, the Xingluo continent is going to change. I'm afraid we are on the wrong side." Sun Tu said with a deep gaze, making it impossible for others to guess his true thoughts. After a period of seclusion, he had used the benefits he obtained from the true demon clan to break through to the level 6 combat beast emperor realm, standing at the peak of the Xingluo continent. Master, why don't we give up on Xingza Lake and our 100,000 years of foundation, leave the Xingluo continent, and find a safe place to recuperate and wait for an opportunity to rise again? Sun Ming pondered for a while and said unwillingly, "All right, go and prepare now. We will leave this place." Sun Tu said without joy or sadness. Buzz buzz just as Sun Ming was about to give the order to evacuate Shengzihu, the forbidden space array that enveloped the entire lake trembled. The sound of a large number of array runes tearing apart rang out in the void. Listening to the strange sound from the void, Sun Tu frowned. He slowly stood up and said, "It seems that we can't leave. They are here. Come on, let's go out and meet them." As he spoke, Sun Tu, who had a calm expression and a trace of viciousness in his eyes, brought Sun Ming to the outside of Sun Luo Hall. He saw Yi Qinfeng and the others attacking the island's protective array. 10 years east of the river, 10 years west of the river, I never thought that my Sun Luo Temple would end up in such a predicament. Looking at Kong Sungchun, Bai Feng, and the others, Sun Tu couldn't help but recall the time when he was in high spirits. He, Jasper Palace, and House Xiaohou oppressed the Bai family, but all of this was ruined by one person. That person was none other than Yi Qinfeng. Sun Tu, your momentum is gone. Obediently open the island's protective array and surrender. Otherwise, don't blame I for starting a massacre. Kong Sungchun put his hands behind his back. Through the island's protective array, he looked at his old rival, Sun Tu, who was wearing a black robe, and said with an imposing manner, "As an old rival, I think you should understand me, and I also understand you. If I surrender, you will either place a mark on my soul and turn me into your puppet, or be suppressed by you for 1,000 years until I die of old age. But I don't want either of these endings. So, don't waste your breath. I will not surrender." Sun Tu put his hands behind his back and said calmly, "Sun Tu, I can understand that you are not afraid of death, but are you willing to watch others die because of you?" Izhua Pia Piao, the charming Zhang Bus said, "I can't even protect myself. How can I protect them?" Sun Tu said coldly. Hearing Sun Tu's words, Sun Ming and the others' expressions slightly changed. Sun Tu had disregarded life and death, but they didn't want to die. However, they knew Sun Tu's methods. Whoever dared to betray him at this critical moment would not be able to escape from his vicious hands. "Master, are you really going to fight to the death with them?" Sun Ming bit his lips and asked, "Is there a second choice?" Sun Tu said calmly. His calm appearance made people tremble in fear. "But, Sun Ming, I raised you. In order to push you to the position of Sun Luo Temple Master, I have killed many people. Now, it is time for you to repay me." Sun Tu suddenly revealed his pure white teeth and said. Seeing Sun Tu suddenly smile, Sun Ming felt deeply uneasy. He instinctively wanted to retreat and distance himself from him. However, Sun Tu had broken through to the rank 6 combat beast emperor realm. His strength had reached an extremely terrifying level. The hand he stretched out was like a big hand bearing its fangs, directly grabbing Sun Ming's neck. This sudden scene shocked all the experts of Sun Luo Temple. It also made Yi Qinfeng and the others reveal shocked expressions. "Master, I didn't betray you. Don't kill me. being lifted into the air by Sen Tu's neck. Sun Ming immediately wanted to resist. However, when he tried to resist, a powerful force bound him, forcing him to beg for mercy. Of course, I know you didn't betray me. However, at this moment of life and death, shouldn't you do something for your master to repay the kindness he has shown you? Sun Tu revealed a cruel smile. His left hand, filled with the aura of death, fiercely smashed Sun Ming's head. Then, Sun Tu opened his mouth and spat out a blood-red hexagonal blood diagram inlaid with 6 strange stones. It crazily devoured Sun Ming's blood and chi. In the blink of an eye, the rank 4 combat beast Emperor Sun Ming's blood and chi were sucked dry by the hexagonal blood diagram, turning him into a dried corpse. After devouring all the blood and chi in Sun Ming's body, the blood and chi in the hexagonal blood diagram boiled. A blood-red ghost face appeared in the diagram, letting out a bone-chilling wail that made people shudder. Blood demon diagram. How did this treasure end up in your hands? Looking at the hexagonal blood diagram with a blood-red ghost face, Kong Sungqin and the other two's expressions became extremely ugly. The blood demon diagram was a notorious treasure that had been passed down for more than 200,000 years. It was in the hands of a murderous demon who called himself the Blood Demon. He caused a bloody storm in the Xingluo continent. Tens of thousands of people died because of him, and many families were directly destroyed. In the end, his violent actions angered the Xingluo Sky City. At that time, the city lord of the Xingluo Sky City joined forces with the leaders of many families to kill him. However, he still escaped with the help of the Blood Demon diagram. Since then, the Blood Demon diagram and the Blood Demon disappeared from the Duhan continent. However, no one expected that this evil treasure would be obtained by Sun Tuesday surprisingly. He used Sun Ming's blood and life to awaken the Blood Demon diagram. Sun Tu revealed a ferocious smile and said slowly, "Why can't the Blood Demon diagram be in my hands?" It seems that the Sun Luo Temple is closely related to the Blood Demon. Kong Sungchun said in a low voice, "Since the Blood Demon diagram has been exposed, you will all die today. However, before I kill you, I ask you to watch a show." As he spoke, Sun Tu, who was controlling the Blood Demon diagram, suddenly turned around and attacked the shocked Sun Luo Temple masters. A bloody massacre began. Yin Lei's official WeChat account already has 4,700 people. For every 1,000 people, Yin Lei will add a chapter. Everyone, come to the official account address, YLTY83. Some of the female leads' photos have been posted. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 973. We need to quickly break the formation and stop the Blood Demon diagram from devouring blood. Otherwise, with the help of the Blood Demon diagram, Sun Tu's strength might reach the Nirvana realm. Seeing Sun Tu crazily slaughtering the Sun Luo Temple experts, Kong Sungqin and the others' faces changed. They immediately increased their attack power, wanting to forcefully break the island's protective formation and break in. Space Swallower, seal breaking the Sun Luo Temple's protective formation was extremely powerful. Yi Chen-feng and the others could not break it in a short time. In order to save time, Yi Chen-feng quickly summoned the Space Swallower and ordered it to devour the seal. After continuously devouring the blood of heavenly beasts, the Space Swallower's ability to break seals greatly increased. Soon, it bit a big hole in the violently trembling seal. Yi Chen-feng and the others quickly rushed in. At this time, Sun Tu, who was crazily slaughtering like a god of death, had killed more than 30 Sun Luo Temple experts. He controlled the Blood Demon diagram and sucked all the blood from their bodies, completely activating the Blood Demon diagram. After devouring a large amount of blood, the demon faces in the Blood Demon diagram became even clearer. They looked at Yi Chen-feng and the others with hatred. Kong Sungqin, by phone, don't look at me like that. Although you have the advantage in numbers, I have the blood demon diagram. You can't kill me. Sun Tu showed a fearless smile and looked at Yi Chunfeng and the others. Sun Tu, your actions today are worse than an animal. You will be punished by the heavens. Zhang Biyue looked at the crazy Sun Tu with sharp eyes and said coldly, "Haha." Sun Tu looked up to the sky and laughed. "I am the heavens. Who will punish me?" Suddenly, an ear-piercing sound broke through the air. Sun Tu, who was controlling the blood demon diagram, only saw a blur in front of him. Xiao Wendy, who was as beautiful as a fairy, suddenly appeared in front of him. Smelling danger, Sun Tu instinctively retreated. However, Xiao Wendy's attack speed was even faster. In an instant, she attacked him with 3 palms and 2 kicks. When Shinta relied on his powerful strength to defend against Xiao Wendy's surprise attack, he was still unable to block her final palm strike. The powerful palm strike carried a fierce gale as it ruthlessly struck Shintu's face, leaving behind a bright red palm print on his old face as he was sent flying. "Your great aunt is beating the heavens. Old dog die." As she spoke, the furious Xiao Wendy took advantage of the opportunity to pursue and attack. She launched a tidal wave of attacks towards Gloom Butcher, wanting to kill this murderous demon. After being attacked by Xiao Wendy, Sun Tu immediately wanted to retaliate and kill her to vent his anger. However, at this moment, the Black God Ant appeared behind Xiao Wendy, bringing a great threat to Sun Tu. Sensing the terror of the Black God Ant, Gloom Butcher decisively gave up on the idea of using the blood demon diagram to kill Xiao Wendy. He quickly fled towards the chaotic dark Azura Hall. Sun Tu was a madman. If he was allowed to escape, he would definitely bring a devastating disaster to the entire Xingluo continent. Yi Chunfeng and the others quickly chased after him, not giving him a chance to escape. When Yi Chunfeng, Xiao Wendy, and the others chased after Sun Tu to the forbidden grounds of the Dark Azura Hall, they suddenly discovered that the scene in front of them had changed. An extremely mysterious illusion had trapped them. As expected, Sun Tu was already prepared. Looking at the illusory scene in front of him and feeling waves of illusion power crazily surge into his mind, Yi Chunfeng immediately raised his illusion Dao intent to the limit to break the illusion in front of him. Straight line sword slash after the illusion Dao intent dispersed and the God-Eater brain deduced. Yi Chunfeng locked onto a spatial node in front of him. The power of his sword's soul erupted as he stabbed with the Emperor Heaven's sword. Chi. After being attacked by the horizontal slash of the fused sword soul, the spatial node that the God-Eater brain deduced shattered like glass. In the next moment, Yi Chunfeng, who did not slow down, was the first to rush out. He saw Sun Tu, who still had a red palm print on his face, floating above a boiling blood pool. He was controlling the blood demon diagram to devour the power of the blood pool. Yi Chunfeng, I really want to know who you are to be able to change the situation of the Xingluo continent. Sun Tu did not break out of the encirclement. He looked at Yi Chunfeng with hatred and said coldly, "Without Yi Chunfeng, he would not be in such a predicament today." Therefore, when he saw Yi Chunfeng break out of the illusion, he decided to take the opportunity to kill Yi Chunfeng. "You are a person who is about to die, so you don't need to know who I am." Yi Chunfeng looked at Sun Tu with a sharp gaze and said with killing intent. 18 Qianquan swords appeared around his body and circled above his head. They formed the Qianquan sword formation and cut through the air. Yi Chunfeng had gained a lot in the Xingluo Royal Mausoleum. He obtained a large number of low-grade Dao swords left behind by the Star Emperor. He also obtained a mid-grade Dao artifact, the Starlight Dao Sword, from Xiao Wendy, which greatly improved the Qianquan sword formation. Now, the 18 Qianquan swords that formed the Qianquan sword formation were made up of 2 mid-grade Dao swords and 16 low-grade Dao swords. Their attacking power had increased by more than 10 times. "Ha ha, Yi Chunfeng, I admit that you are the most talented young man I have ever seen. If not for the blood demon diagram, I would not have become your enemy." Sun Tu laughed and said, "Unfortunately, I have already repaired the blood demon diagram. Now that the blood demon diagram has merged with enough blood, It is enough to kill you." As he spoke, Sun Tu did not waste any more time. He summoned the blood demon diagram and merged with the power of the boiling blood pool to attack Yi Qinfeng. Shriek, 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 horrifying cries of ghosts sounded from the blood demon diagram. The demonic face in the blood demon diagram became clearer and clearer. It spat out a gust of bloody wind, which tore through the air and swept towards Yi Qinfeng. Qinquan's sword formation break. The bloody wind rushed towards him. Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the Qinquan sword formation to meet it. Like a rain of swords, it pierced into the bloody wind, breaking the demonic face's attack in one fell swoop. Such great power! After the Qinquan sword formation was upgraded, its power increased greatly. But when it pierced into the bloody wind, it was still met with great resistance. If the Qinquan sword formation's attacking power was not strong enough, it would not have been able to tear the bloody wind apart. I haven't seen you for more than a year, and you have become even stronger. You are really impressive. But no matter how strong you are, you can't change your fate. I will use the blood demon diagram to suck all the blood from your body. Your blood will follow me and bear witness to my supreme achievement. As he spoke, Sun Tu controlled the blood demon diagram and merged it into his body. Borrowing the power of the blood demon diagram, he directly broke through the limit of a level 6 combat beast emperor and possessed the strength of Nirvana. What? You think you are invincible just because you have Nirvana's strength? I will let you know that you are just a frog at the bottom of a well. Feeling the sudden increase in Sun Tu's strength, Yi Qinfeng was not afraid at all. As long as Xiao Wendy escaped, he could use the Black God Ant's invincible strength to control the situation and kill Sun Tu's day. He only needed to stall for time. Is that so? Sun Tu's eyes turned blood red. His strong body flashed in the air and charged towards Yi Qinfeng with boundless bloody light. The Sword Soul controlled the Qinquan sword formation. As Sun Tu attacked, Yi Qinfeng immediately controlled the Sword Soul to merge into the Qinquan sword formation and let it control the sword formation to attack Sun Tu's day. Then he pushed the Tao of Life and Death to the limit and blasted out the Tao of Life and Death. He condensed the Tao of Life and Death and blasted it towards Sun Tu's head. Yama's Heavenly Wheel Sun Tu quickly circulated the Yama tactics and condensed a large amount of Yama's Heavenly Wheel from his body. It clashed fiercely with the Qinquan sword formation and the Tao of Life and Death. Because of the amplification of the blood demon diagram, the Yama's Heavenly Wheel condensed by Sun Tu was extremely powerful. After a series of intense collisions, not only did it dissolve the Tao of Life and Death, it also blocked the attack of the Qinquan sword formation. Nine Netherwolf when Sun Tu borrowed the power of the blood demon diagram to forcefully close in on Yi Qinfeng, the Nine Netherwolf, a heavenly beast consecrated by the San Luo Temple, suddenly appeared and attacked Yi Qinfeng together with Sun Tu's day. They wanted to kill him as soon as possible and take everything from him. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 974. Sword Step. Yi Qinfeng did not panic when he was suddenly besieged. He took a step forward, and a sword diagram appeared. Dense sword Dao patterns attacked Gloom Butcher and the Nine Netherwolf who were close to him. Watermark advertisement. Test watermark advertisement test is for himself. He dodged to the side when the sword Dao patterns attacked, dodging the killer moves of the man and beast. His reaction was not slow, but it was still useless. Gloom Butcher locked his eyes on Yi Qinfeng. He borrowed the power of the blood demon diagram and attacked together with the Nine Netherwolf. Are you the only one with helpers? Qinggu Qiu, Ling Shuehe, quickly come out and help. With a thought, Yi Qinfeng summoned Qinggu Qiu and the other two. He let the spirit fish deal with the Nine Netherwolf while he, Qinggu Qiu, and the King of Massacre attacked Gloom Butcher. Spatial treasure. I did not expect you to have such a treasure. It seems like I will gain a lot from killing you. Gloom Butcher revealed a greedy look. He He borrowed the power of the blood demon diagram to block Yi Chunfeng and the other two's attacks. Many people wanted to kill me, but unfortunately, they were all sent to hell by me. You will not be an exception. With that, Yi Chunfeng shook his wrist, and the Emperor Heaven's sword pierced out with lightning speed. It attacked Gloom Butcher together with a Cosmos sword formation derived by the sword soul. Qinggu Qiu and the King of Massacre also used their killer moves to attack Gloom Butcher. They wanted to injure him severely. Just as Gloom Butcher was about to be hit by Yi Chunfeng and the other two's killer moves, the blood demon diagram appeared on his body and blocked the attacks. In the next moment, the blood demon diagram released a large amount of blood-red light, which filled the entire space. It carried the power to destroy all living things and blasted towards Yi Chunfeng. PFFF. PFFF. In just one attack, the instant mirror light was shattered. The King of Massacre was severely injured and was sent flying hundreds of meters away, losing his ability to fight. Although Yi Chunfeng and Qinggu Qiu blocked the attack of the blood demon diagram, they were both injured. Green Heaven's secret art. Heavenly Dao, Play Qinggu Qiu, took a deep breath and suppressed his injuries. He gathered the power of the heavens to form a Heavenly Dao disc and shot it towards Sun Tuesday. Meanwhile, after Yi Chunfeng teleported the heavily injured King of Massacre back to the universe realm, he controlled the three fused Dao intents and fused them into the universe sword formation. He increased the universe sword formation's power to the greatest extent and controlled the universe sword formation to attack Sun Tuesday. It's no use. Your attacks are useless against me. Having Nirvana's strength for a short period of time, Gloom Butcher had become too terrifying. He borrowed the power of the blood demon diagram to face the attack head-on, directly shattering the Heavenly Dao disc and clashing with the Cosmos sword formation. If not for the fact that the universe sword formation had been greatly upgraded and that Yi Chunfeng's soul had been tempered and strengthened beyond compare, he would have long been defeated by the terrifying Forest Butcher. Bloodline of gods and devil's blood of heaven. After witnessing how terrifying Gloom Butcher was, Yi Chunfeng and Yi Qingyu did not hesitate to burn their powerful bloodline power, greatly increasing their strength to face Gloom Butcher head-on. However, the power of the blood demon diagram was beyond imagination. With the help of this demonic treasure, Sun Tu was able to completely suppress Yi Chunfeng and Qinggu Qiu, forcing them to retreat. Howl! Suddenly, a mournful wolf howl rang out. The spirit fish in her ape god form smashed the 9 netherwolf's head, ending its life. Spirit fish, don't come over. Gloom Butcher's strength was too terrifying. Yi Chunfeng was afraid that an accident would happen, so he immediately shouted at her. While Yi Chunfeng was distracted, Gloom Butcher unleashed the blood demon diagram. It was like a blood-red, demonic mountain, crashing into the void. Under the full power of the blood demon diagram, a large area of the void began to distort. Cosmos sword formation combined. At the critical moment, Yi Chunfeng tapped the ground with the tip of his foot. As he retreated, he controlled the 18 Cosmos swords to fuse together, forming a giant sword. With the power to destroy everything, he slashed forward. Under the attack of the Cosmos sword, even the sky began to crack. Boom! The two powerful attacks collided, exploding with earth-shattering power. The chaotic, distorted space was riddled with holes. Ka-ka-ka. After 3 breaths, the giant sword formed by the 18 Cosmos swords was blasted away by the blood demon diagram. A terrifying blood-red light beam shot towards Yi Chunfeng, forcing him to dodge with all his might. Blue Sky Seal. Yi Chunfeng was no match for Gloom Butcher. Qinggu Qiu, in his white robe, soared into the sky. He controlled the powerful power of the heavens to form a blue sky seal that was filled with innate Dao patterns. It crashed down like the sky, smashing towards Gloom Butcher. When the blue sky seal crashed down, Gloom Butcher quickly threw out a punch. The terrifying Dao intent quickly evolved into a demonic face. It crashed into the blue sky seal, shattering the blue sky seal. Heavenly Venerate bloodline combined. Gloom Butcher's strength was too strong. In order to resist him, Yi Chunfeng burned his heavenly venerate bloodline. He forcefully combined the two bloodlines to increase his strength to the greatest extent. Blue Sky's secret art after the Godfiend bloodline and heavenly venerate bloodline merged. Yi Chunfeng's strength soared by several levels. He quickly circulated the Blue Sky secret art and formed two Blue Sky seals in succession, bombarding Gloom Butcher. I didn't expect you to have so many tricks up your sleeve. Gloom Butcher revealed a trace of surprise when he sensed that Yi Chunfeng's strength had greatly increased. However, this only strengthened his resolve to kill Yi Chunfeng. He would not be able to eat or sleep in peace if Yi Chunfeng was not eliminated. Demonic Blood Diagram. 10,000 demonic blood shadows. Gloom Butcher forcefully resisted the two Blue Sky seals. Using his own blood as a medium, he ignited the power of the demonic blood diagram. A large amount of blood-red light spread out from the demonic blood diagram, transforming into a large number of demonic shadows that roared and attacked Yi Chunfeng and Qinggu Qiu. Puff! Puff! In just 10 breaths, Qinggu Qiu, who was attacking with all his might, was severely injured by the 10,000 demonic blood shadows. He was teleported into Yi Chunfeng's universe mirror in time. Although Yi Chunfeng relied on his powerful physical body to resist the 10,000 demonic blood shadows, he was also in a precarious situation. His physical body, which was almost at the level of a high-grade Dao artifact, exploded and a large amount of blood flowed out. Universe Sword Array, body protection. The situation was critical. Yi Chunfeng immediately controlled the Universe Sword Array to revolve around his body, deducing the Sword Dao intent to the extreme to resist the 10,000 demonic blood shadows attacks. However, the demonic blood diagram had fused with enough blood and qi. Its power was extremely terrifying. It brought great pressure to Yi Chunfeng, causing the Universe Sword Array, which had been transformed into a sword vortex, to tremble violently. Nirvana was indeed terrifying. With Yi Chunfeng's current strength and methods, he could fight against a level 6 combat Beast Emperor. However, he was completely suppressed by Gloom Butcher, who had Nirvana strength. He was in a perilous situation. If his physical body was not strong enough, he had cultivated a sword soul, he had 3 bloodlines, and a Universe Sword Array, he would have been killed by Gloom Butcher long ago. 9 Dragon Jade Annulus. As the pressure increased, Yi Chunfeng did not resign himself to death. With a thought, he summoned the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus and ignited his dragon bloodline, increasing his soul power by 7 times. He continuously poured his soul power into the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus, controlling the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus to condense a world-destroying berserk dragon, which bombarded Gloom Butcher, who was covered in bloody light. Under the attack of the world-destroying berserk dragon, a large number of 10,000 demonic blood shadows were shattered. The terrifying berserk dragon let out a dragon roar that made people shudder as it fiercely bombarded Gloom Butcher. Not good. Feeling the destructive power of the world-destroying berserk dragon, Gloom Butcher's expression changed greatly. He quickly dodged without thinking. While he was dodging, Yi Chunfeng, whose soul power was almost depleted, rushed out with the Universe Sword Array. Suddenly, the sound of space cracking could be heard. While Yi Chunfeng was extremely weak, Xiao Wendai and the Black God Ant broke through the illusion and rushed out. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 975. Yi Chunfeng, are you alright? Xiao Wendy could feel that Yi Chunfeng was very weak. She quickly came to his side and asked with concern. Watermark advertisement test. Watermark advertisement test. I'm fine. Don't let him escape. Yi Chunfeng drank a mouthful of returning heaven water to recover his depleted soul power. He shook his head and replied, Don't worry. He won't be able to escape. Xiao Wendy's eyes were filled with extreme confidence as she looked at Sun Tu with cold eyes. Then I'll leave him to you. Yi Chunfeng knew Xiao Wendy's strength and knew how terrifying the Black God Ant was. He quickly distanced himself from the battle and sat cross-legged on the ground to recover his depleted soul power. Saint Beast. So was a Saint Beast. Sensing the terrifying demonic energy from the Black God Ant, Sun Tzu finally knew why it was so terrifying. He revealed a trace of seriousness. He never expected that the opponent would have the help of a Saint Beast. He regretted that he didn't want to fight and take the risk to kill Yi Chen-feng. Whoosh! There was a flash of bloodlight under Sun Tzu's feet. He gave up on the idea of killing Yi Chen-feng and wanted to break out. Wasn't it too late to leave now? Xiao Wendy's reaction was even faster. She flashed in front of Sun Tzu and blocked him. Courting death. When Sun Tzu saw that Xiao Wendy dared to block him, his eyes were filled with dense killing intent. He quickly circulated the Yama art and condensed a large amount of Yama heavenly wheels to attack, wanting to cut her body. Over 10 Yama heavenly wheels attacked, but Xiao Wendy didn't dodge. She quickly blasted out a fist. A large amount of star Dao patterns surged out from her body and turned into a terrifying star Dao diagram. It directly shattered the 10 Yama heavenly wheels and blasted towards Sun Tzu without any reduction in power. Blood demon diagram, demon shadow appearance. When the star Dao diagram arrived, Sun Tzu immediately controlled the blood demon diagram to counterattack. He condensed a malevolent demon face with boundless demonic aura and clashed with the star Dao diagram. Rumble. The two powerful forces clashed together. There was an intense clash and an ear-piercing explosion. In the intense clash, the star Dao diagram and the demon face quickly shattered. Life and death Dao diagram seeing the star Dao diagram shattering. Xiao Wendy struck out another palm strike. Life and death Dao patterns gushed out from her fist like a tidal wave. They converged into a life and death Dao diagram and blasted towards Sun Tzu, whose expression changed drastically. It forced him to dodge miserably. The Dao diagram of the stars, the Dao diagram of life and death. Who are you? Yi Chen-feng was already monstrous enough, but she didn't expect Xiao Wendy to be even more monstrous than Yi Chen-feng. Not only did she cultivate to the 6th grade combat Beast Emperor realm at such a young age, but she also cultivated her star Dao intent and life and death Dao intent to perfection and condensed 2 Dao diagrams. Why do you care who I am? After condensing 2 great Dao diagrams and forcing Gloom Butcher to retreat, Xiao Wendy continued to pursue and attack. She continuously used powerful Dao techniques to attack. Just as Sun Tzu forcefully tore apart Xiao Wendy's attack, the Black God Ant, which was as tall and sturdy as a black tower, appeared behind Sun Tzu and blasted out a killing punch. Not good sensing danger behind him, Sun Tzu immediately controlled the blood demon diagram to defend himself. When the Black God Ant's punch landed on the blood demon diagram, it immediately exploded with over 100 million pounds of strength. The rolling demonic energy was like a tidal wave that broke through a dam. It crazily attacked the blood demon diagram, which brought great pressure to Sun Tzu's day. It shook the blood in his body violently. After the first punch, the Black God Ant blasted out a second and third punch. The terrifying fist might was as boundless as the ocean. It was boundless and boundless. It smashed Sun Tzu and forced him to retreat step by step. Mouthful after mouthful of blood spurted out from his mouth. Blood demon diagram. 10,000 demonic blood shadows unable to block the Black God Ant's attack. Sun Tzu continuously spat out blood into the blood demon diagram. He continued to use his blood as a medium to activate the blood demon diagram's strongest power. It turned into a large amount of 10,000 demonic blood shadows, which roared and attacked Xiao Wendy and the Black God Ant. Once Xiao Wendy and the Black God Ant were surrounded by the 10,000 demonic blood shadows, he would have the opportunity to break out and leave this place. Earthquake technique, a large amount of 10,000 demonic blood shadows roared over. The Black God Ant's rolling demonic power and physical power merged together, forming an extremely fast frequency earthquake technique in the void. With his body as the center, the earthquake technique radiated out in all directions, engaging in an intense battle with the 10,000 demonic blood shadows. Following the dense explosion sounds, the entire void was distorted by the powerful energy fluctuations from the collision. In an instant, the Black God Ant and Sun 2 were swept inside, forcibly stopping Sun 2's thoughts of breaking out. With the help of the Blood Demon Diagram's power, although Sun 2 temporarily possessed Nirvana's strength, his physical defense was far inferior to the Black God Ant's. After being hit by wave after wave of destructive power, his body's injuries continued to worsen. His flesh was torn in many places, revealing his white bones. Heavenly Demon Blood Artsun, too, didn't care about his injuries. He burned all the blood in his body and used his ultimate killing move. This was because he knew that he had no way out. He could only fight with his life on the line. Otherwise, only death awaited him. Compared to the true demon tribe's demon king, you are too weak. Although Sin 2 had killed a large number of his tribe members and used their blood to increase the power of the blood demon diagram, giving him Nirvana's strength, compared to the demon king who had taken the Nirvana pill, there was still a large gap. The Black God Ant was able to severely injure the demon king, so he naturally didn't put Sun 2, who only had Nirvana's early stage strength, in his eyes. His fists were like two dragons as he punched out. The terrifying power shattered the void and destroyed Forest Butcher's killing move as easily as crushing dry weeds and smashing rotten wood. His fists landed on Forest Butcher's chest. Crack! Sun 2's defense was broken. His chest was caved in by the Black God Ant's attack. A large amount of blood, mixed with pieces of internal organs, sprayed out from his mouth. His entire body fell from the sky, creating a large hole in the ground. The power he used to fuse with the Blood Demon Diagram was also destroyed by the Black God Ant. He lost his strongest power. The moment Sin 2 fell to the ground, Xiao Wendy's star Dao Diagram slashed down, cutting open the ground and cutting off Sun 2's legs. With his legs cut off by Xiao Wendy, Sun 2 was in so much pain that he wanted to die. At this moment, his heart was filled with regret. He regretted taking the risk to kill Yi Chenfeng. If he had used the Blood Demon Diagram to force his way out, Yi Chenfeng definitely wouldn't have been able to stop him. Xiao Wendy, Black God Ant, don't kill him. He is still useful. I want to search his soul. With the help of the heaven-returning water, Yi Chenfeng, who had recovered a portion of his soul power, shouted. The true demon race had hidden themselves too deeply. If he wanted to find their headquarters, he would have to search Sun 2's soul. Don't worry, I will leave him with one last breath for you. Sun 2's actions had touched Xia Wendy's reverse scale. Therefore, Xiao Wendy showed no mercy to Sun 2's day. She controlled the 4 beast flags to seal his body and prevent him from committing suicide. She began to vent the anger in her heart. In just 10 breaths of time, Sun 2's entire body was torn apart except for his head. He lay in a pool of blood on the verge of death. He only had one last breath left. Now, can I soul search him? Yi Chenfeng asked softly as he slowly walked over. He glanced at Xiao Wendy, who had beaten Sun 2 so badly that he no longer resembled a human. After obtaining Xiao Wendy's tacit approval, Yi Chenfeng activated the soul-devouring art and began to search Sun 2's soul. Soon, Yi Chenfeng obtained the information he needed from Sun 2's soul. He exerted a bit of strength and directly broke Sun 2's neck. An ambitious and ruthless character, Sun 2, who was titled Yellow Springs, had fallen into the Yellow Springs and died. Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read it next time, you can click on the Save button below to record this reading. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 976. Sun 2 was dead. When Kong Sungshun's group broke through the illusion and arrived at the forbidden ground of Sun Luo Temple, they saw Sun 2's decapitated body and dead body with a complicated expression. Although they hated Sun 2's ruthlessness, bloodthirstiness, and madness, he was still from the same generation as them. Now that he was dead, there was one less person from their generation, and they would be even lonelier. Xiao Wendy, 3 seniors, I want this blood demon diagram. Can I have it? After witnessing the might of the demonic blood diagram, Yi Qinfeng's interest in this evil object was piqued. Like person, like treasure, this saying was not wrong at all. Xiao Wendy glanced at Yi Qinfeng and faintly said, Kong Sungqin's group did not compete with Yi Qinfeng and gave the diagram and Sun Tu's belongings to Yi Qinfeng. Come, let's go to Sun Luo Temple's treasury and take a look. This territory controlled by Sun Luo Temple will be given to you three seniors. After taking away the diagram and Sun Tu's belongings, Yi Qinfeng's group searched through Sun Luo Temple's treasury and found many rare items. Among them, there were many things that caught Yi Qinfeng's interest. After dividing up the Dark Azura Hall's treasury, Yi Qinfeng didn't go on a killing spree. Instead, he handed over the task of swallowing the Dark Azura Hall to the three great clans. They hurried to the true spirit devil realm, preparing to eradicate this malignant tumor of the Star Luo continent. They finally arrived at the dry lake. Yi Qinfeng's group flew for more than 2 days and arrived at a dark mountain range. In the depths of this mountain range, they found a lake embedded in the rocks. Because of this special geographical environment, there was no vegetation around the lake. It was completely bare, and this was where the name Dry Lake came from. The true demon tribe really knows how to find places. If Sun Tu had not been here before, we would not have found it. Yi Qinfeng looked at the calm lake without a single ripple. It was hard to imagine that the true spirit devil domain was at the bottom of this lake. Come, let's go down the lake. Although the true demon tribe had an extraordinary foundation and a heaven-defying item like the Nirvana pill, the true demon tribe could not threaten their lives with the Black God Ant's protection. Bang, 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 waves of water splashed as Yi Qinfeng and the others broke into the quiet and desolate lake. They immediately felt the power of the restriction. Crack! Yi Qinfeng and the others relied on their absolute strength to tear apart the hidden restrictions in the lake. Through the pitch-black and icy lake water, they could vaguely see a vast group of buildings at the bottom of the lake that were shrouded in restrictions. Ao, Ao ferocious roars echoed from the isolation barrier at the bottom of the lake. Two strange snakes, which looked like flood dragons and had huge lumps on their heads, swam up from the bottom of the lake. They opened their bloody mouths and bared their long fangs, attacking Yi Qinfeng and the others. A mere level 8 heavenly beast dares to attack us? Xiao Dai let out a cold snort. Suddenly, she approached an attacking black monstrous snake. A large amount of star Dao patterns gushed out from her body. She struck out with her palm, and hundreds of star Dao inscriptions turned into a dazzling star Dao diagram that blasted towards a black strange snake that was close to her. No dodge. The moment Xiao Wendai attacked, the God-Eater brain sensed something was wrong. Yi Qinfeng quickly appeared in front of Xiao Wendai, using his body to shield her. Boom! The black monstrous snake was attacked by Xiao Wendai's star Dao diagram and immediately shattered. Following that, a terrifying power erupted from the monstrous snake's huge body. Like an erupting volcano, it blasted towards Yi Qinfeng and Xiao Wendai. Golden Body's secret suddenly attacked by the black monstrous snake's self-explosion. Yi Qinfeng didn't have time to bring Xiao Wendai into the universe realm. He immediately used the Golden Body secrets, covering his body with a layer of defensive golden light, forcefully resisting the self-explosion. When the first black monstrous snake exploded, the second one also approached at an extremely fast speed. It exploded its body and launched a fatal attack towards Yi Qinfeng. The self-explosion of the two black monstrous snakes was enough to kill an ordinary level 6 combat beast emperor. However, Yi Qinfeng's physical body's defense was too terrifying. With the help of the Golden Body Secret's defense, he forcefully resisted the self-explosion. PFFF Yi Qinfeng and Xia Wendai were blown away by the self-explosion. Yi Qinfeng endured 90% of the attack and was heavily injured. A large amount of blood spurted out from his mouth. Yi Qinfeng, are you all right? Seeing Yi Qinfeng spitting out blood to save her, Xiao Wendai immediately supported him and asked anxiously, I'm fine. Yi Chenfeng took a deep breath and wiped the blood from the corner of his mouth. He then controlled the life Tao pattern to heal his injuries. Thank you. Xiao Wendai looked at Yi Chenfeng, who saved her time and time again. She was quite touched. If it wasn't for Yi Chenfeng sacrificing himself to save her, she would have been heavily injured with her physical body's defense. Everyone, be careful. This true spirit devil domain is very dangerous. After controlling the life Tao pattern to heal his injuries, Yi Chenfeng and Xia Wendai came to the side of Kong Sungqian and the others. They worked together to break open the void restriction formation and entered inside. No one, looking at the true spirit devil domain that looked like an underwater dragon palace, Yi Chenfeng immediately released his soul spirit. However, he realized that there wasn't a trace of life in the entire true spirit devil domain. After sensing the danger, the true demon race had already evacuated this place. Now that the true demon race was empty, Yi Chenfeng and the others were empty-handed. Come, let's go in and take a look. While speaking, Yi Chenfeng led the group into the empty, true spirit devil domain. Yellow spiritual essence sculpture, jade spirit stone tree, purple jade crystal. After entering the true spirit devil domain, Yi Chenfeng and the others found plenty of undamaged rare items. If these rare items were to be sold in the outside world, they would be sold for a sky-high price. After dividing up these rare items, Yi Chenfeng and the others followed the long corridor that was engraved with plenty of totems and walked into the true spirit devil domain. They discovered that in a 100-herb garden, there was a half-meter tall tree that was dark purple in color. It had sparse branches and leaves. 2 sparkling fruits that looked like lychees were hanging down. Violet jade fruit. That was the violet jade fruit. After looking at the 2 lychee-shaped fruits, the eyes of Kong Sungqian and the others lit up with excitement. The violet jade fruit was a sentient item. It bloomed every 100 years and bore fruit every 100 years. Not only could the violet jade fruit nourish one's body, but it also had the miraculous ability to increase one's lifespan. Wait a moment, Senior White. Is there a problem with these 2 violet jade fruits? Just as Bai Feng was about to step forward and take the fruits, Yi Chenfeng suddenly called out to him. Could it be? After hearing Yi Chenfeng's voice, Bai Feng stopped and retreated a few steps. Would the true demon race be so kind as to leave such precious items to us? After saying this much, Yi Chenfeng directly shot a sword-type Tao pattern toward the violet jade fruit. Boom! Boom! When the violet jade fruit was attacked by the sword-type Tao pattern, it exploded without warning. The terrifying power directly blasted a bottomless hole in the ground, causing space to collapse. As expected, it was a trap. Xiao Wendy ground her teeth and said, "Let's go and take a look at the main hall." Yi Chenfeng's heart didn't have any ripples. With a collapsed space gradually recovered, he led everyone into the pitch-black, true demon main hall. When he entered the true demon main hall, he suddenly stopped in his tracks. Then, he revealed a bitter smile. On the white jade carved wall of the true demon main hall, there was a line of graceful handwriting. Yi Chenfeng, the man I like, I'm leaving. Don't miss me. Yi Chenfeng, what is your relationship with her? When Xia Wendy saw the words left on the wall, she immediately guessed that it was left behind by Shui Hanyan. It was as though she was a little wife who found out that her husband was cheating on her. She stared with a pair of big eyes and questioned fiercely. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the collect button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 977. Ancient Pine, Strange Peak, Waterfall, Taoist Temple. After leaving the True Spirit Devil area, Yi Chenfeng, Xiao Wendy, and Black God Ant came to the Taoist Temple, where they met Luo Shun and asked to see him. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Kong Sungqian, and the other 2 returned to their respective families and gathered the top masters of their families, preparing to launch a counterattack against Xingluo Sky City. Junior Yi Chenfeng greets Senior Luo. I wonder if Senior Luo can show himself? Yi Chunfeng bowed deeply towards the dilapidated Taoist temple and said respectfully, Senior, Junior already knows the secret of the Xingluo Sky City and is preparing to gather the power of White, Jiang, and Green Jade Palace to destroy the foundation of the Sky Clan. I wonder if Senior can show up and help. Yi Chunfeng waited for a while and continued. Let's go, Xiao Wendy. After speaking, Yi Chunfeng turned and walked to Xiao Wendy, who was standing on the side. He left just like that. Xiao Wendy asked in surprise, You don't want to wait any longer? If Senior wants to hear it, then you will hear it. If Senior doesn't want to hear it, then it's useless to wait. Yi Chunfeng smiled and said, It seemed to make sense. Xiao Wendy nodded. After speaking, they didn't wait any longer. They left the broken temple and flew out of the beautiful mountain range. As soon as they left, a blurry figure appeared and glanced at the direction they left. His body slightly flashed and then mysteriously disappeared. Yi Chunfeng, let's go to Xingluo Sky City now. After leaving the endless mountain range that was like a dragon crouching in an abyss, Xia Wendy asked softly. No hurry, Senior Jiang went back to gather the masters. It will take about 10 days to get to Xingluo Sky City. I want to go to Falling Star Pavilion first to see the situation there. Yi Chunfeng shook his head and said, Falling Star Pavilion, why go there? Is your little lover there? Xiao Wendy asked suspiciously. Xiao Wendy, can't we have a nice chat? Yi Chunfeng was speechless. He rolled his eyes at Xiao Wendy and said, The Falling Star Pavilion helped me before, and Sha Bingyun and the others know about my relationship with the Falling Star Pavilion. I am afraid that the Falling Star Pavilion will be retaliated because of me. Those people that helped you were all women, right? Xiao Wendy curled her lips and said. Yi Chunfeng was speechless. All right, let's not waste any more time. Let's go to the Falling Star Pavilion. After saying that, Yi Chunfeng took Xiao Wendy and flew toward the Falling Star Pavilion at an extremely fast speed. According to the topographic map of the Xingluo continent, Yi Chunfeng entered the territory of the Falling Star Pavilion after traveling for nearly 2 days. Yes, there's a fierce battle ahead. Let's hurry over and take a look. Flying over a lush forest, Yi Chunfeng's sharp soul perception detected a fierce battle in the forest. Raising his eyebrows slightly, he immediately flew over. Xingqiru, after flying closer, Yi Chunfeng saw a familiar figure through the dense shade of the trees. This familiar figure was the Falling Star Pavilion's vice pavilion master, Xingqiru. Sure enough, the Falling Star Pavilion was under attack. Yi Chunfeng's eyes flashed with a fierce look. His whole body suddenly accelerated. Like a bolt of lightning streaking across the sky, he flew over and appeared in front of Xingqiru, who was covered in blood and heavily injured. Wind and dust. Xingqiru, who had fallen into despair and was bleeding from her chest, suddenly saw a person appear in front of her. She was stunned. When she saw that the person descending from the sky was Yi Chunfeng, her eyes widened and she fell into a deep surprise. Damn, where did this wild brat come from? Die. A man holding a black spear, wearing silver armor, and with a clear scar at the corner of his eye, roared and thrust his spear at Yi Chunfeng's chest. Under his all-out attack, the spear in his hand was like a flood dragon emerging from the sea. It was unstoppable, and the friction caused the air to emit an ear-piercing sound. Facing this fatal spear, Yi Chunfeng did not dodge. Instead, he extended a finger and tapped it. When his fingertip touched the tip of the black spear, a sharp sword Dao pattern shot out from his fingertip. The terrifying power directly pierced through the high-grade heaven-tier black spear, and its might did not diminish as it pointed at the shocked silver-armored man. Chi! The silver-armored man was sent flying by Yi Chunfeng's finger. The unstoppable finger light directly pierced through the silver armor and pierced through his body. Bang! The silver-armored man was sent flying 100 meters away. He crashed into an ancient tree that was dozens of meters tall, and his head tilted to the side as he died. Yi Chunfeng instantly killed the Supreme King with a single finger. This shocked everyone present. Seizing this opportunity, the injured Falling Star Pavilion disciples quickly retreated behind Yi Chunfeng, seeking protection. Are you from the Falling Star Pavilion? A half-step combat beast emperor elder with white hair and wearing a dark gray robe looked at Yi Chenfeng with a deep gaze and questioned in a low voice. No, Yi Chenfeng replied with an indifferent expression. Since you are not from the Falling Star Pavilion, I advise you not to get involved in this mess. Otherwise, your life will be in danger. Yi Chenfeng's finger strike was too stunning. The gray-robed elder was shocked. He did not want to have a direct confrontation with Yi Chenfeng, so he warned coldly. I don't believe in evil. Yi Chenfeng's lips curved up slightly, and he said domineeringly, Plus, you guys are not enough to threaten my life. Although you are strong, you are only one person. House Xiaohou is the overlord of this region. Do you think you can shake House Xiaohou by yourself? Seeing the sharp light shooting out from Yi Chenfeng's eyes, the gray-robed elder had no choice but to use House Xiaohou to pressure Yi Chenfeng. Yi Chenfeng from House Xiaohou revealed a trace of murderous intent and said domineeringly, It won't be long before I erase House Xiaohou from Xingluo continent. Who do you think you are? A proud expert from House Xiaohou roared angrily. I am Yi Chenfeng. The Black Cliff Yi Chenfeng that Sha Tianyao mentioned said arrogantly. Black Cliff hearing Yi Chenfeng's name, the expert from House Xiaohou widened their eyes. A tremor that came from the deepest part of their souls spread throughout their bodies, making them tremble as if they had been electrocuted. You're really Black Cliff? The gray-robed elder with a pale face gulped and took 2 steps back, asking in horror. Do you think I am lying? Yi Chenfeng's lips curved up slightly, revealing a grim smile. In the next moment, Yi Chenfeng took a light step forward and the sword diagram appeared. The extremely sharp sword-based Dao pattern shot out and attacked the shocked gray-robed elder and the others. In just one breath, the 13 experts from House Xiaohou who were chasing after the Falling Star Pavilion died in a pool of blood, leaving only the half-step combat beast emperor alive, the gray-robed elder covered in blood. Witnessing the scene in front of him, the gray-robed elder spat out blood and retreated in defeat. His eyes widened, and his body trembled as if he had a stroke. At this moment, he completely believed Yi Chenfeng's identity. He knew that words were useless and that he had reached the end of his life. Blood slaughtering the world, the gray-robed elder roared, burning all of his blood and qi, and launched a fatal attack towards Yi Chenfeng. His whole body merged with the long spear in his hand and turned into a bloody shadow, stabbing towards Yi Chenfeng, wanting to injure him before he died. Rumble! A deafening explosion rang out as a giant hand of 5 elements descended from the sky, causing the world to tremble violently as it pressed down on his body. It directly crushed his body and ended his life. Mobile reading site, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 978. Feng Chun, you broke through again? Xing Keru and the others were stunned when they saw Yi Chenfeng's shocking strength. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement testes. I broke through not long ago. Yi Chenfeng nodded and said, By the way, Vice Pavilion Master, how are Yuan Feng, Manu, and the others? How is the Falling Star Pavilion now? Yuan Feng is dead. He was killed by the Falling Star Pavilion. Manu, Miao Yu, and the others are trapped in the Falling Star City. Their situation shouldn't be good. We took the risk to break out of the encirclement to get reinforcements, but they chased after us. If we hadn't met you, we wouldn't have been able to escape. Xing Keru said angrily. Yuan Feng was dead. Yi Chenfeng's expression became extremely ugly. He had a good impression of Xing Yuan Feng, who was straightforward. Moreover, if Xing Yuan Feng hadn't met him, Yi Chenfeng felt that Xing Yuan Feng wouldn't have died, and the Falling Star Pavilion wouldn't have suffered any retaliation. Sha Tianyao, I will kill you. Yi Chenfeng's eyes flashed with murderous intent. He wanted to kill the culprit, Sha Tianyao. Don't be sad. Let's go to the Falling Star Pavilion now and make House Xiaohou pay for what they've done. Xiao Wendy flew over from the horizon and appeared beside Yi Chenfeng, who was filled with murderous intent. She comforted him softly. Come, let's go to the Falling Star Pavilion. Yi Chenfeng nodded. Then, he led Xing Keru and the others to the Falling Star Pavilion, which was in danger. When Yi Chenfeng and the others arrived at the Falling Star City, where the Falling Star Pavilion was located, they discovered that there was a fierce battle taking place in the city. The thick smell of blood drifted in the air, dyeing the air red. Because the Falling Star Pavilion's overall strength was far inferior to House Xiaoho, they suffered heavy casualties. However, most of the disciples of the Falling Star Pavilion had fearless expressions on their faces. They gave their all, using their blood and lives to protect the dignity of the Falling Star Pavilion. Xing Hanyang, are you still going to struggle in vain? If you don't obediently surrender, don't blame me for slaughtering all of your disciples and erasing your Falling Star Pavilion from Xingluo continent. Xiaoho Londa, the head of House Xiaoho, hovered in midair in a luxurious robe and a pair of cloud-soar boots. His bearing was extraordinary as he glared coldly at the Falling Star Pavilion's master. Humph, there are no cowards in my Falling Star Pavilion. We would rather die standing than live on our knees. The Falling Star Pavilion master, Xing Hanyang, snorted coldly and said fearlessly, Xing Hanyang, are you sure that I won't kill you? That's why you are speaking so righteously. Xiaoho Londa smiled disdainfully and said arrogantly, that's right. You still have an important position. I won't kill you. However, before I hand you over to Xingluo Sky City, I can torture you. I wonder if you want to have a taste of my methods. Pa Xiao Londa's eyes blurred as soon as he finished speaking. A fierce gust of wind slammed into the left side of his face, breaking through his soul force defenses and sending him flying. A large amount of blood mixed with broken teeth sprayed out from his mouth, staining it with blood. This sudden scene also shocked everyone present, making them feel as if they were in a dream. Fuck, who is it? Xiaoho Londa roared in exasperation. The aura that he had worked so hard to create was completely destroyed by this slap. He was so angry that he wanted to kill someone. Pa! As Xiaoho Londa roared in anger, another figure appeared in front of him. Fuck, go to hell. Xiaoho Londa locked onto the figure that suddenly approached him and launched a fatal attack without hesitation. He stabbed forward with a golden spear that was engraved with a large number of Dao patterns. Suddenly, a strong force of dizziness slammed into his mind like a heavy hammer, causing his soul to tremble. He felt a strong sense of dizziness, and his powerful attack was forcibly interrupted. In the next moment, both sides of his face were attacked consecutively. The ear-piercing sound of slapping rang out in midair and reverberated throughout the Falling Star City. House head seeing Xiaoho Londa being slapped in front of everyone. Two loyal elders of the Xiaoho family quickly rushed forward and used powerful Dao techniques to attack the illusory figure in midair. They wanted to save the defenseless Xiaoho Londa. When the two elders got close to the illusory figure, streaks of sharp sword light shot out from the illusory figure. They were like meteors that streaked across the sky, easily tearing apart their attacks and penetrating their bodies, killing them on the spot. Who are you? Xiaoho Londa, whose face was completely unrecognizable and whose mouth was dripping with blood, witnessed the scene of two rank 1 combat beast emperors being instantly killed. The anger in his heart was immediately replaced by fear as he asked fearfully, Who do you think I am? Yi Chenfeng, who had rushed over in time, stood in midair and looked at the bruised and swollen Xiaoho Londa as he spoke coldly. Hey Yin, why are you here? Looking at Yi Chenfeng's familiar face, a fear that came from the deepest part of his soul took over his entire body. Slowly, the fear in his soul turned into despair. His entire body began to tremble uncontrollably. I've annihilated the Dark Azura Hall and the true demon clan. Naturally, I have to come here to take a look. Unfortunately, I saw something I didn't want to see the most. Therefore, you'll have to pay with your blood for your atrocities. Yi Chenfeng said with murderous intent. No, young master He Yin. We were forced to do this. If we didn't obey Xingluo Sky City, our Xiaoho family would be wiped out by them. We really had no other choice. Please, young master He Yin, be magnanimous and let us go. I promise that I won't step into the Falling Star Pavilion's territory for the rest of my life. After learning that the Dark Azura Hall and the true demon clan were annihilated, the last trace of hope in Xiahou Longda's heart was shattered. He was like a stray dog, wagging his tail and begging for mercy, begging Yi Chunfeng to spare his life. Don't you understand that the winner is the king and the loser is the bandit? Xiahou Longda, show me your backbone. That way, you can at least die a glorious death. Facing Xiahou Longda's begging, Yi Chunfeng was unmoved and said without a trace of emotion, "You really won't let me go?" Xiahou Longda bit his lips tightly, trying to dispel the fear in his heart as he said with a trembling voice, "I want to avenge those who died because of you, so you must die." Yi Chunfeng said coldly, "Hey Yin, I admit that I am not your match. However, the situation is basically under my control now. With a single order from me, at least 20 disciples of the Falling Star Pavilion will die with me. If you're willing to let them die with me, then do it." Xiahou Longda used his trump card and said, "Don't worry." The childish Yi Chunfeng said indifferently. As soon as he finished speaking, screams rang out from the Fallen Star City. The 3 level 8 heavenly beasts, Xiao Windy, Black God Ant, and Xingu Qiu, who had been hiding in the city, suddenly attacked, slaughtering the experts of House Xiahou like autumn leaves. In just 4 breaths, more than 20 experts of House Xiahou died in a pool of blood. "Demon, demon, you are the demon." Hearing the screams echoing in his ears, Xiahou Longda fell into despair and said in fear, "You are right, I am the demon." As he said that, Yi Chunfeng suddenly attacked. Nearly 100 sword Dao runes slid along his arm, forming a 10-meter-long light sword that cut through all obstacles and slashed towards Xiahou Longda, who was defending with all his might. Chi! The sound of air being torn apart was heard. The sharp light sword broke through Xiahou Longda's defense and cut him in half from head to toe, killing him on the spot. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 979. At night, the sky was filled with stars. The sparkling starlight and the warty moonlight intertwined, illuminating the land. After killing Xiahou Longda and the enemy, Yi Chunfeng immediately escorted the people from the Falling Star Pavilion to the Jiang family, which was the closest to Meteor City. He temporarily arranged for them to stay in the Jiang family to prevent any accidents from happening. At the Jiang family, Yi Chunfeng learned that Kong Sungchen had already left the Jiang family's old mansion with a group of Jiang family experts and headed to Xingluo Sky City. He did not stay for long and rushed to Xingluo Sky City overnight, preparing to rendezvous with Kong Sungchen and the others to launch the final attack on Xingluo Sky City. "Father, our spies just sent news that Xiahou Longda and the others are dead. Our plan to kidnap the people from the Falling Star Pavilion to threaten the Black Lava Nation has failed." Sha Bingyun, who was wearing a long black dress and had a unique aura that blended with the darkness, walked to Sha Tianya's courtyard. She looked at Sha Tianya, who was standing in the courtyard with his hands behind his back and looking up at the moon, and said faintly, "What a ruthless method. They completely destroyed all of my plans. The Black Lava Nation is truly my nemesis." Sha Tianya withdrew his gaze from the warty crescent moon. His face was expressionless, making it impossible for others to guess what he was thinking. Moreover, according to reliable sources, the Dark Azura Hall has been destroyed. Yi Chunfeng and the others even went to the True Spirit Devil Domain, but the True Spirit Devil Domain was already empty. They abandoned us and disappeared without a trace. Sha Bingyun said somewhat angrily, "I also thought of this outcome. After all, the Xingluo continent is not their world. Under the circumstances where the situation is out of control, they will definitely not take the risk to live and die with us," Sha Tianya said slowly. "Father, do you think we can survive this crisis?" Sha Bingyun said uneasily, although they could borrow the power of Xingluo Sky City to increase their strength. Yi Chunfeng's power was too terrifying. Moreover, he had the help of a sacred beast. This made her instinctively fear him. Once they failed, only death awaited them. On the surface, Xingluo Heaven City belongs to our Sha family, and we are the masters of Xingluo Heaven City. However, the real master of Xingluo Heaven City is the Heaven Race, and we are only the representatives of the Heaven Race. Therefore, if they want to destroy us, it is equivalent to destroying the Celestial Race's inheritance. Do you think the Celestial Race will sit by and do nothing? Sha Tianya's eyes flashed with a fierce light. Father, you're saying that there are still Tian clan experts in Xingluo Heaven City. Sha Bingyun's eyes lit up, as if she had grasped the last straw that could turn the situation around. Although I have not seen anyone from the Heaven Clan in the past 10,000 years, I am certain that there are still experts from the Heaven Clan in the Xingluo continent, and it is highly possible that the experts from the Heaven Clan are in deep slumber in Heaven City. Sha Tianya said, if we really have the help of the Tian clan experts, then we will definitely be able to survive this crisis. At that time, I will definitely remove the 3 great powers from Xingluo continent. Thinking about the strength of the experts from the lower realms of the Heaven Domain, Sha Bingyun's uneasy heart finally relaxed. However, what Sha Bingyun did not know was that Sha Tianya did not have full confidence in the upcoming battle. He still could not figure out how Yi Chunfeng managed to come out alive from the heavenly tomb, and what secrets he was hiding on his body. Time passed day by day under extreme pressure. In order to obtain the final victory, Sha Bingyun took control of the entire Xingluo Heaven City and worked hard to eliminate any unstable factors in Heaven City. The defense of Xingluo Heaven City was also raised to the highest level to defend against any dangers that might appear in the ancestral realm. Roughly 10 days later, the experts from the Jiang family, Bai family, and Jasper Palace arrived one after another. They gathered in the Black Wind Prairie, waiting for Yi Chunfeng, Xiao Wendy, and the rest. News of the 3 great powers' arrival had also reached Sha Tianya's and Sha Bingyun's ears. However, they did not act rashly. Instead, they patiently guarded Xingluo Heaven City. Only in Xingluo Heaven City could they display 500% of their strength. So, 2 ear-piercing sounds suddenly rang out in the sky above the Black Wind Prairie. After rushing through the night, Yi Chunfeng arrived outside Xingluo Heaven City on a Pegasus and Xiao Wendy, who was riding on a black god ant-seeing Kong Sungchen and the rest who had been waiting for him for many days. Yi Chunfeng said apologetically, "My apologies, seniors, for making you wait for so long. We went to the Falling Star Pavilion and were delayed for some time." "Chunfeng, did you manage to invite that senior?" Kong Sungchen and the rest knew that Yi Chunfeng had gone to invite the guardian, Luo Shun, and asked expectantly. "Fortunately, I did not disappoint. Luo Shun promised that if the situation goes out of control and an enemy that we are unable to deal with appears, he will appear to help us." Yi Chunfeng revealed a faint smile and said. Hearing that Yi Chunfeng was lying, Xiao Wendy immediately glanced at him. However, the intelligent Xiao Wendy soon understood the reason why Yi Chunfeng was lying. He wanted to increase the confidence of Kong Sungchen and the rest and dispel their worries. Only in this way could they display their full strength. That's good. Hearing that the guardian of the human race, Luo Shun, was willing to help, Kong Sungchen and the rest secretly heaved a sigh of relief and revealed a trace of excitement. "Seniors, how many formation flags did you bring?" Yi Chunfeng changed the topic. "The 3 of us brought a total of 3,700 supreme grade formation flags and more than 10,000 ordinary formation flags." Kong Sungchen and the rest did not hide anything. They took out all the formation flags they brought from their families and handed them over to Yi Chunfeng. When Yi Chunfeng plundered Sun Luo Hall's treasury and Sun Tu's relics, he also obtained more than 5,000 formation flags. Adding the formation flags that Kong Sungchen and the rest gave him, the number of formation flags he controlled was close to 20,000. It was enough to set up a huge formation that could resist Xingluo Sky City Sky covering formation. "Wendy, there's no time to lose. Let's start setting up the formation now." Xiao Wendy's attainments and formations were also very deep. Yi Chunfeng let her set up the formation with him. The formation that Yi Chunfeng wanted to set up was a powerful killing formation that he had deduced over a long period of time using the God-Eater brain. He named this formation the Sky Destroying Formation. After telling Xia Wendy the method to set up the Sky Destroying Formation, the two of them began to control the 20,000 formation flags to insert into the air. They interweaved with each other and began to set up the formation. In order to increase the power of the Sky-Destroying Formation to the limit and resist Xingluo Sky City Sky Covering Formation, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wenyi worked hard to set up the formation to the limit. After nearly 3 days of setting up the formation, nearly 20,000 formation flags were inserted into the air. They fused together and formed a sky-destroying formation that covered several hundred kilometers. It flowed with streaks of black light. Phew, we finally succeeded. Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy, whose faces were slightly pale, looked at each other and saw the excitement in each other's eyes when they saw the reproduction formation runes fusing together and complementing each other in the Great Heaven Extermination Formation. After setting up the Sky-Destroying Formation, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy quickly adjusted their breathing and recovered the soul power and soul force they had consumed. About 6 hours later, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy had adjusted themselves to their best condition. Both of them merged into the heart of the Great Heaven Extermination Formation. With great tacit understanding, they simultaneously made complicated hand seals, controlling the Great Heaven Extermination Formation that was like a vast ocean, breaking through the layers of forbidden space patterns and ascending into the sky. Sha Tianya, are you ready? Yi Chunfeng's clothes fluttered in the wind as he stood in the heart of the formation. His roar was like a dragon's roar and a tiger's roar that shook the sky. It was like a thunderclap that reverberated in the sky above Xingluo Sky City. In the next moment, the sky-destroying formation was activated. It gathered the extremely multiplied Dao runes. Like a meteor shower or a river, it launched a fatal attack on the sky-covering formation that enveloped Xingluo Sky City. The final battle was about to begin. Remember the website, Sandwich Chinese Network. Chapter 980. Rumble. When the Sky Exterminating Array released its power and bombarded the sky enveloping array that enveloped Xingluo Sky City, it caused the sky enveloping array to tremble violently. A large number of array runes appeared in the vast void, condensing into a fog-like power that boiled in the void, tearing apart the Sky Exterminating Array runes. The Sky Exterminating Array runes that were like a surging river were constantly being torn apart by the Sky Enveloping Array. Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy, who were at the heart of the array, were rapidly forming complicated hand seals to increase the power of the Sky Exterminating Array. Instantly, nearly 20,000 array flags vibrated and gathered into tens of thousands of Sky Exterminating Array runes. They continued to attack the Sky Enveloping Array, shattering the fog-like power of the array runes. The Sky Exterminating Array and the Sky Enveloping Array clashed fiercely in the 9 heavens. It was like two armies facing off against each other. Rumble, rumble, rumble. For a moment, all the sounds between heaven and earth were swallowed. The terrifying collision formed a terrifying shockwave that exploded violently in the void. Looking at the explosion of light in the sky, the people of Xingluo Sky City were stunned. The terrifying power made their legs go soft, and they had an impulse to kneel down and worship. What a good move. He actually thought of using an array to break an array and weaken the power of the Sky Enveloping Array, so that we can't use the Sky Enveloping Array to attack. Sha Tianya stood at the huge city gate of Xingluo Sky City and couldn't help but frown as he looked at the two ancient arrays that were fiercely attacking each other. The Sky Enveloping Array was passed down from ancient times. How could his ancient array contend against it? Sha Bingyun, who was wearing a tight-fitting martial arts suit and had a curvaceous figure, said coldly with a mature charm, "No, you have underestimated He Yan's means. I can feel that the power of the Sky Enveloping Array is being restrained. The ancient array that he has set up has the upper hand. Sha Tianya shook his head, and the solemn expression on his face became even more intense. Sigh, why is he my enemy? Sha Tianya sighed softly and muttered in his heart. However, he didn't know that Yi Chanfeng had met the 8th Slaughter War Emperor before. All the grudges between them originated from more than 10,000 years ago. The battle between the two ancient formations became more and more intense. The void couldn't bear it anymore and started to crack like a spider web. Suddenly, a huge crack appeared on the heaven-enveloping array that enveloped Xingluo Heaven City, causing Xingluo Heaven City to tremble slightly. The great formation of heaven is broken. We are entering the city. Standing in midair, Kong Sungqian and the others, who were waiting for an opportunity, did not hesitate. They all raised their speed to the peak and flew toward the crack in the great formation of heaven, charging into Xingluo Heavenly City. Those who trespass into Xingluo Heavenly City shall die. More than 10 experts from Xingluo Heaven City went up to meet them. They summoned an extremely powerful array diagram, wanting to form an array to defend against the 3 great clans. Death, the Black God Ant, who was leading the charge, let out a roar and threw a punch at the rapidly spinning formation. An unparalleled fist radiance shot out, and a force of more than 200 million Jin exploded the air, causing the airflow to surge and bombarding the gyratory formation with incomparable force. Kacha! After receiving the Black God Ant's punch, cracks appeared on the formation. The terrifying force caused more than 10 experts from Xingluo Heaven City to vomit blood. They were in great pain. Earthquake technique. The Black God Ant's black tower-like body exploded with terrifying demonic energy. It attacked the heavily injured experts from Xingluo Heaven City at a speed of hundreds of times per second. Pung pung pung, flowers of blood bloomed in midair. After being attacked by the earthquake technique, more than 10 experts from Xingluo Heaven City cried out in pain. Their bodies exploded in midair and they died on the spot. The scene of the Black God Ant killing the expert from Xingluo Heaven City also shocked the experts from Xingluo Heaven City. For a moment, no one dared to approach it. Wendy, let's enter the city. After Kong Sungqian and the others entered the city, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy also flew into Xingluo Heaven City. When the Sky Exterminating Formation was fully activated, it did not need Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy to control it. It could attack on its own, making it impossible for Sha Tianya to use the Sky Exterminating Formation to attack Yi Chunfeng and the others. Kong Sungqian, Bai Feng, Zhang Biyue, you really want to gamble everything and fight to the death with me? Xingluo Heaven City? Do you know that if you lose, there will be no place for your 3 great clans in the Xingluo continent? Sha Tianya, who was wearing a star-patterned robe and had his hands behind his back, coldly looked at Kong Sungqian and the others and coldly threatened them. Sha Tianya, from the moment you, Xingluo Heaven City, secretly colluded with the True Demon Clan and attacked our 3 great clans, you became our mortal enemy. If it were not for our good luck, we would have been annihilated. Bai Feng looked at Sha Tianya with hatred and said in a low voice, let's not talk too much. In today's battle, either you die or I die. Sha Tianya revealed an enigmatic smile and said, I don't know if you've heard of the saying, the greater the hope, the greater the disappointment. Perhaps the ending won't be what you imagined. As soon as Sha Tianya's voice fell, Kong Sungqian and the others' faces slightly changed. But when they thought of the person behind Yi Chunfeng, the uneasiness in their hearts disappeared. Sha Tianya, don't you think you talk too much? Yi Chunfeng stepped on the void and walked over step by step. He said in an overbearing manner, usually, only people with a guilty conscience talk too much. So you were scared. Sha Tianya laughed loudly and said, you are just a bunch of mobs. You can't make me scared. Forget it. Since you want to die, I will fulfill your wish. As he spoke, a huge shadow appeared in the sky above Xingluo Heaven City. An ancient staircase engraved with ancient patterns broke through the thick clouds and appeared. 9 levels of heaven's staircase. Looking at the staircase that appeared in the sky, Yi Chunfeng frowned slightly. When he first climbed the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, he felt that the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase was an extremely powerful treasure. But he did not expect Sha Tianya to have the ability to summon the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase to attack. Back off! Everyone back off! Feeling the destructive power of the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, Kong Sung-chun, Bai Feng, and the others' faces changed greatly. They immediately ordered their masters to back off. No need to back off. Let me send you to hell. As he spoke, Sha Tianya controlled the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase that was suspended in midair to descend. With the power to destroy everything, it suppressed Yi Chunfeng and the others, wanting to crush them into minced meat. AO under the suppression of the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. The Black God, Ant, let out an earth-shattering roar and transformed into its huge body. With a strength of more than 200 million Jin, it directly faced the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. Boom, 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 the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase suppressed the Black God Ant's body, causing a huge explosion. The terrifying power directly pierced through the Black God Ant's body and suppressed it, causing it to fall to the ground. Divine Demon Bloodline, seeing that the Black God Ant could not withstand the suppression of the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, Yi Chunfeng did not hesitate to transform into his divine demon body. He erupted with a strength of 150 million Jin and resisted the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. Under the attack of Yi Chunfeng and the Black God Ant, the mountain-like 9 levels of Heaven's staircase was forcibly resisted. A terrifying power spread out from the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. It was like a dancing snake that tore through the void. What should they do? After witnessing the power of the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, Kong Sung-chun and the others' faces changed. The foundation of Xingluo Heaven City was far beyond their imagination. Their trump cards were unable to withstand the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. Do you think you can withstand it? Sha Tianya revealed a sinister smile. His entire body suddenly rose up and appeared on the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase. He spat out a large amount of blood and fused it with the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, activating the power of this treasure. The 9 levels of Heaven's staircase would suppress them to death. Sha Tianya revealed a sinister expression. He continuously increased the suppression of the 9 levels of Heaven's staircase, ruthlessly suppressing Yi Chunfeng and the Black God Ant. He wanted to suppress them to death. Mobile reading website, book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 981. Pu Pui Chunfeng spat out several mouthfuls of blood under the full suppression of the 9th level Heaven Stair. His arms, which were supporting the 9th level Heaven Stair, cracked, and a large amount of blood spurted out uncontrollably. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Yi Chunfeng. Seeing that Yi Chunfeng's arms were injured and he was coughing up blood, Xia Wendy's heart clenched. Without the slightest hesitation, she took out the command medallion that Luo Shen had given her and was about to crush it to save Yi Chunfeng. Suddenly, a ray of light that was even more dazzling than the sun shone. With a speed that was more than 10 times faster than the speed of light, it bombarded the 9th level. Rumble, rumble, rumble. The 9th level was attacked by this white ray of light and trembled violently. The suppressive force that surged out from the 9th level was constantly breaking apart, greatly reducing the pressure on Yi Chunfeng and the Black God and Xingluo Skywall. Xingluo Skywall actually took the initiative to attack the 9th level. Seeing the Xingluo Skywall take the initiative to attack the 9th level, the people who didn't know the truth were all dumbfounded. They couldn't understand why this would happen. Senior Star Emperor's clone really made a move. Yi Chunfeng dared to attack Xingluo Sky City because of 2 reasons. One of them was the human race's guardian, Luo Shen, and the other was the Star Emperor's clone in Xingluo Skywall. When he saw the Star Emperor's clone make a move, he knew that he had made the right bet. With the help of the Star Emperor's clone, Even if Luo Shun didn't appear, he still had the ability to destroy the Heaven Race's inheritance and kill Sha Tianya to avenge the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor. You really couldn't help but make a move. Sha Tianya looked at the beam of light that attacked the 9th level and shattered the suppressive force of Xingluo Skywall. His expression became extremely ugly. As the old city lord of Xingluo Sky City, Sha Tianya knew the secret of Xingluo Skywall. He also knew that the Star Emperor's strongest clone was hidden in Xingluo Sky Wall's 9-layer space. He wanted to destroy the Star Emperor's second clone more than once, but he failed every time. After the first attack, the Heavenly Star Bulwark, which was flowing with white light, shot out another beam of light that bombarded the 9 levels of the Heavenly Staircase. It forcibly shook the 9 levels of the Heavenly Staircase and resolved the crisis that Yi Chunfeng and the Black God Ant were in. "Leave the 9th level, I'll deal with it." A vigorous voice resounded in the Heavenly Starry Wall, shaking the 9 heavens and spreading for thousands of miles. In the next moment, there was a loud cracking sound as the Heavenly Star Wall broke away from the main body and smashed into the 9th level of the Heaven Staircase. Boom! The two supreme treasures collided with each other like two meteorites, and the resulting explosion of power covered the entire void. While the Heavenly Star Wall and the 9 heavenly stairs clashed, Yi Chunfeng summoned Qinggu Qiu, the spirit fish, the king of slaughter, and Fu Qingshan. "Sha Tianya, we will settle our old and new grudges today. I will kill you to take revenge for the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor." Although Sha Tianya was the most powerful, Yi Chunfeng did not retreat in order to take revenge for the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor. Instead, he attacked with the Emperor Heaven Sword. When the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor heard Yi Chunfeng's roar, Sha Tianya's heart was in turmoil. He stared at Yi Chunfeng and roared, "Who are you?" Sha Tianya was not the only one who was shocked by the name of the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor. Lian Xing was also in disbelief. She had already forgotten how long it had been since she heard this name. She also did not expect that Yi Chunfeng would be related to the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor, the person who will kill you. With that, Yi Chunfeng's attack speed increased again. The Emperor Heaven's sword was like a bolt of lightning that pierced through the heavens. It pierced toward Sha Tianya's throat, wanted to pierce through it. Just as the incomparably sharp Di Tian sword pierced through Sha Tianya's throat, the ancient stars that were flickering with starlight shot out of Sha Tianya's mouth and blocked Yi Chunfeng's fatal strike. In the next moment, the heaven-suppressing orb that had been passed down for countless years appeared on his forehead. The power of the Heaven City surged into his body and continuously increased his strength. "I really did not expect that you would be related to the 8th Slaughter Battle Emperor. However, you are still far from being able to take revenge for him." With that, Sha Tianya sent out a palm strike towards Yi Chunfeng. It caused the air to explode and forced Yi Chunfeng to retreat. "Yi Chunfeng, let me help you." The tall and beautiful Xia Wendy's body flashed and appeared beside Yi Chunfeng. She merged with the power of the 3-legged golden crow and fought alongside him. "Lian Xing, Bingyun, do not show any mercy. Use the power of the Heaven City to kill them." Sha Tianya shouted towards the slightly pale Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun, whose face was filled with hatred. "Xingluo Heaven City's power, strengthen me." Sha Bingyun knew that today's battle was a matter of life and death. She did not hesitate to merge with the power of the Xingluo Heaven City to increase her strength. On the other hand, Lian Xing seemed to be deep in thought. No one knew what she was thinking. "Lian Xing, if you don't want to see us die and the foundation we've painstakingly built over the past 10,000 years be destroyed, then use your full strength. If we lose today, there will be no place for us on the star Luo continent." Sha Tianya's expression became extremely unsightly as he looked at the restless Lian Xing sigh. Lian Xing sighed softly and used the power of the heaven-suppressing orb to merge with the power of the Xingluo Heaven City. The instant she merged with the power of the Heaven City and increased her strength, the tall and sturdy black god Ant suddenly approached her and punched her. The punch, which had a force of over 100 million Jin, pushed her back several hundred meters. If not for the fact that the power of the Xingluo Heaven City helped her neutralize the majority of the attack, the Black God Ant's punch would have destroyed her body. When the Black God Ant sent Lian Xing flying, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy joined hands and attacked Sha Tianya. Qinggu Qiu, who had inherited part of the Tian clan's inheritance, ignited his heavenly bloodline and used the flying snow sword to challenge Sha Bingyun, who had reached the peak of level 6 combat Beast Emperor. The three strongest warriors were entangled by Yi Chunfeng and the others. Under the leadership of Jiang Xingchen and the other two level 6 Beast Emperors, the Jiang, Bai and Jasper Palace warriors were like wolves in a flock of sheep as they slaughtered crazily. Although Pejun and Rintu were among the top 10 rankers in the star field, they were not disciples of Xing Luo Tian City, so they didn't lend a helping hand. Instead, they stood aside and watched. On the other hand, Yu Feng, Blade Demon, and Xie Jianzhe Ying raised their strength to the peak and wanted to help the experts of the Xingluo Heaven City. Where do you think you're going? Pejun's body flashed as he blocked Yu Feng and the other three. He pointed his heavy meteor hammer at them and said domineeringly, Pejun, we won't blame you if you don't help us. But if you dare to stop us, don't blame us for being impolite. Yu Feng warned angrily as he looked at Pejun, who was blocking them, with an ugly expression. Ha, with just you? Pejun laughed loudly and said arrogantly. After saying that, Pejun released a shocking power and launched a fierce attack at Yu Feng and the other three. Sigh, looks like Xingluo Heaven City's time is really up. Witnessing the scene where Pejun suddenly attacked Yu Feng and the others, the purple golden-armored butcher guessed Pejun's identity. After hesitating for a while, he appeared beside Pejun with a dragon-head broadsword in his hand. Together, they launched a ferocious attack at Yu Feng and the others, completely suppressing their attacks. Boom! When the chaotic battle was getting more and more intense, an earth-shattering explosion was heard. Xingluo Heaven's Wall and 9 heavenly stairs that had collided countless times could not bear the pressure and broke apart at the same time. The terrifying power caused the void to collapse, as if the end of the world had arrived. The official WeChat account still needs more than 600 people to update. Everyone, add me. WeChat account address, YLTY83 mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 982. An earth-shattering explosion occurred in the sky, shattering the sky covering array. At the same time, several Xingluo Heaven City experts lost their lives under the ferocious attacks of the 3 major clans. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test Sha Tianya's meticulously trained experts lost their lives one after another, but it did not affect him in the slightest. He continued to display powerful Dao techniques, ferociously attacking Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy, suppressing their attacks. Slaughter Doppelganger Sword Puppet faintly unable to withstand Sha Tianya's ferocious attacks. Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy summoned their doppelgangers one after another, besieging Sha Tianya. Although the sword puppet's strength was greatly reduced without the sky crystal, its indestructible body became a natural barrier, constantly neutralizing Sha Tianya's killer moves. 6 styles of thunder stera, shocking will of the way exploded from Sha Tianya's body. It merged with the power of the Sky City and formed an earth-shattering power of the Star Thunder. It was like a violent tidal wave that blasted towards Yi Chunfeng and Yi Chunfeng. Star Dao diagram, life and death Dao diagram, that dazzling Milky Way like wind and thunder surged over, but Xia Wendy did not retreat. Instead, she pushed her Star Dao intent and life and death Dao intent to the extreme, transforming them into 2 Dao diagrams, which blasted into the 6 styles of Thunderstar, constantly tearing apart the wind and thunder tide. Following that, Xia Wendy's body shone with starlight as she continuously slashed out 9 starlight swords, relying on her absolute attack to break Sha Tianya's killer move. 9 starlight swords? You remember the Xia clan? Sha Tianya raised his eyebrows, guessing Xia Wendy's identity through her Dao techniques. You're right. Under Xia Wendy's control, the four beast flags transformed into a desolate beast, letting out a gut-wrenching roar as it opened its bloody mouth to bite Sha Tianya. When Sha Tianya relied on his absolute strength to shatter the four beast flags, Yi Chenfeng slashed out the boundless heavenly sword, slashing towards Sha Tianya's body. As the sword slashed out, Tao, intent, erupted, revolving around the tip of the boundless heavenly sword. It was as if the boundless Tao evolved from heaven and earth, slashing toward Sha Tianya's chest, forcibly interrupting his continuous attack. Heavenly Mountain Tao Talisman. Sha Tianya was forced to retreat. Xia Wendy, with great tacit understanding, shot out the Heavenly Mountain Tao Talisman from the Gu Dao treasure. It pressed down on Sha Tianya like a mountain, continuing to shake his body. Heavenly Dazzling Thousand Sword Technique. Sha Tianya wielded the Sword of Slaughter and stabbed out dozens of times in an instant, transforming into dazzling swords of light that continuously slashed at the Sky Mountain Tao Talisman descending from the sky, forcibly repelling it. Suzuka Ding with a thought from Yi Chenfeng. The vermilion bird cauldron flew out of his body. As Yi Chenfeng spat out a mouthful of blood essence into the vermilion bird cauldron, the vermilion bird soul within the vermilion bird cauldron came to life, increasing the offensive power of the vermilion bird cauldron. The vermilion bird cauldron slammed towards Sha Tianya with a long fiery tail. Bang! The vermilion bird cauldron collided with Sha Tianya's Gu Fanxing, and a deafening explosion resounded through the skies. Horizontal sword slash. At the instant when the two Gu Dao treasure collided, Yi Chenfeng relied on his powerful physical body to withstand the destructive impact. He stabbed out with extreme speed, piercing through the air towards Sha Tianya's chest. When Sha Tianya sensed how terrifying the sword was and wanted to dodge, a strong dizziness surged into his soul sea, causing his reaction to become slightly sluggish. Chi! The sound of flesh being pierced could be heard. The Emperor Heaven's sword directly pierced into his chest, stabbing towards his heart, wanting to pierce through his chest. However, when the Emperor Heaven's sword, with its astonishing offensive power, pierced into Sha Tianya's chest, it was blocked by a strong force. Even with the sharpness of the Emperor Heaven's sword, it was unable to pierce through. Sword Soul Fuse. With his attack blocked, Yi Chenfeng immediately fused his Sword Soul into the Emperor Heaven's sword, increasing the offensive power of this sword to the greatest extent. He attacked with all his strength. At this critical moment, Sha Tianya's hands moved slowly like flowing water. The terrifying power of the Heaven City surged out and ruthlessly struck towards Yi Chenfeng. Although Yi Chenfeng's physical body was comparable to a mid-grade Dao artifact, he did not dare to take Sha Tianya's attack head-on. Just as he summoned his Universe Sword Array to defend, Sha Tianya quickly retreated, escaping this calamity. Star God Strike. When Sha Tianya was dodging, Xia Wendy mysteriously appeared in front of Sha Tianya's dodging trajectory. Her Star God bloodline was ignited, and a terrifying Star God shadow appeared on her body, launching a killing blow towards Sha Tianya. Bang! Sha Tianya, who could not dodge in time, was ruthlessly struck by the Star God strike. His body's defense was broken, and his entire body smashed into the ground like a cannonball, creating a large hole in the ground. Many Xingluo Heaven City experts were dumbfounded when they saw Sha Tianya, the mainstay of Xingluo Heaven City, being injured by Yi Chenfeng and Xia Wendy. This moment of distraction allowed Kong Sungqin and the others to seize the opportunity and heavily injure Sha Tianya, completely taking control of the situation. Father, seeing Sha Tianya injured, Sha Bingyun, who was fiercely fighting with Qinggu Qiu, was also distracted. In a battle between experts, even the slightest mistake could lead to defeat. Blue Sky Seal. Qinggu Qiu did not waste this excellent opportunity. Surging heavenly power turned into a green ancient seal, which contained unparalleled destructive power and boundless heavenly power, and bombarded Sha Bingyun. Sensing danger, Sha Bingyun instinctively defended against the terrifying Blue Sky Seal. After the first attack, Chingguo followed up with another attack. He circulated the blue sky's secret art to the extreme, and ferocious attacks came one after another, giving Sha Bingyun no chance to catch her breath. Under his ferocious attacks, Sha Bingyun's offense was suppressed, and she was forced to retreat step by step. A stream of blood flowed from the corner of her mouth. Lian Xing's situation was even more dangerous. She had merged with Xingluo Heaven City's power. Although she was close to nirvana, she was far from being a match for the black-eyed ant. The blood that spurted from her mouth had already dyed her clothes red. If not for Xingluo Heaven City's power continuously flowing in her body, she would have already lost the ability to fight and been killed by the black god and Sha Tianya. Your situation is over. Obediently accept your death. After taking control of the situation, Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy continued to launch ferocious attacks at Sha Tianya. In order to kill him in one fell swoop, Yi Chunfeng summoned the Cosmo Sword Array and merged his sword soul into it. He controlled the Cosmo Sword Array to attack Sha Tianya, wanting to kill him in one fell swoop to avenge the 8 Sha War Emperor. Chi under the attacks of the Cosmo Sword Array and the 2 Dao diagrams. Sha Tianya's offense was completely disintegrated. The sharp sword light pierced through his body, causing his injuries to worsen. Gu Fanqing's secret art despite being in danger, Sha Tianya clenched his teeth and persisted. He continuously merged the power of Heaven City into his body, turning it into a huge star that forcefully tore apart the Cosmos Sword Array. Dragon's bloodline ignition, true dragon transformation. Seeing that Sha Tianya had borrowed the power of Heaven City to tear apart the Cosmos Sword Array, Yi Chunfeng decisively ignited his dragon's bloodline ignition, increasing his soul power by 7 times. He transformed into a true dragon that bared its fangs and brandished its claws, fiercely crashing into Gu Fanqing, who was under immense pressure. Boom! The terrifying true dragon directly broke through the ancient star patterns and tore apart Sha Tianya's defense. It fiercely slammed into his body, causing him to fall from the sky to the ground once again. It's over. Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy both used their ultimate moves to kill Sha Tianya. They wanted to take his life while he was down. You want to kill me? Try again in your next life. Sha Tianya roared and took out a fist-sized, pitch-black ball of light that was sealed with a large number of forbidden runes. He used it to block the incoming Dao skills. When the forbidden runes on the ball of light were about to be torn apart by Yi Chunfeng and Xia Wendy's ultimate move, Sha Tianya used his bloodied hands to crush the ball of light. A vast soul-guiding power spread out and sealed the void. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the Collect button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 983. Look, there's a graveyard in the sky. Heavens, what's going on? Why is there such a phenomenon at such a critical moment? Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test looking at the graveyard that appeared strangely in the sky due to the soul guidance's power. The spectators who were hiding in the distance widened their eyes in shock. Heavenly Tomb. Why did the Heavenly Tomb appear? Could it be that there are more celestial souls in the Heavenly Tomb? Although the Luo Shun avatar killed the strongest Empyrean soul, the Heavenly Tomb was extremely vast. It was very likely that there were other celestial souls in it. This made Yi Chunfeng feel a little troubled. Hey Yin, in Xingluo Heavenly City, I am the heavens, the only ruler. Here, no one can shake me. Today, I'll let you experience the true terror of Xingluo Heavenly City. Sha Tianya, who was covered in blood and heavily injured, revealed a sinister expression. He controlled the soul guidance's power to open the Heavenly Tomb that appeared strangely. In the next moment, Sha Tianya ignited a large amount of blood and used his own blood as a guide to forcefully summon the celestial souls in the Heavenly Tomb to help him. Xia Wendy, we have to stop him quickly. Don't let him summon the celestial souls. Otherwise, our lives will be in danger. Seeing Sha Tianya's blood continuously pouring into the Heavenly Tomb, Yi Qinfeng and Xia Wendy immediately launched an attack at Sha Tianya. They wanted to destroy him and stop him from summoning the celestial souls. Two late streams of death energy fell from the heavenly tomb like a silver river falling down, attacking Yi Qinfeng and Xia Wendy. Cosmos Sword Formation. Combine Yi Qinfeng moved his hands and controlled the 18 spinning cosmos swords to merge together, forming a huge sword that could split heaven and earth. It carried the power of heaven and earth as it slashed towards the descending streams of death energy. Xia Wendy also launched a sure kill attack at this moment. The star god projection flashed, and the power of Tao intent reached the limit. The star Tao diagram and the life and death Tao diagram struck out consecutively. Boom, boom, the Cosmos sword and the two Tao diagrams struck the descending streams of death energy. The terrifying power directly blasted a huge hole in the streams of death energy and bombarded Sha Tianya. But at this moment, more death energy descended like a violent waterfall, directly shattering the killing moves unleashed by Yi Qinfeng and Xia Wendy. Heroic spirits. The human clan wants to destroy the inheritance of my Tian clan. I ask the heroic spirits to protect the inheritance of my Tian clan, kill the strong enemies, and protect the inheritance of my Tian clan for thousands of years. Sha Tianya yelled out piously as he released his powerful blood chi. Woo woo woo, a series of bone-chilling cries rang out. Under the attraction of the soul guide power and blood chi power, three terrifyingly powerful celestial ray souls broke out of the heavenly tomb and appeared in the heavenly starry sky city. The soul of the Tian clan. How could there be such a terrifying existence in Xingluo, heavenly city? What secrets were hidden here? And what was the inheritance of the Tian clan? I thought that Xingluo Sky City was going to change, but now it seems that the losers are the three great families. Many people didn't know the secrets of Xingluo Sky City, and they didn't know that the inheritance of the Xingluo Sky City came from the Tian clan. Sensing the terror of the three souls of the Tian clan that flew out of the sky tomb, they were all stunned. Kong Sung-chun, Bai Feng, and the others, who had the absolute advantage and were basically in control of the situation, also revealed serious expressions. Although they hadn't fought, they could feel a deep sense of danger from the three souls of the Tian clan. The appearance of the three souls of the Tian clan had changed the situation, putting them in danger. Boom, 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 thunderous explosions rang out in the air. The three souls of the Tian clan released a terrifying soul energy that bombarded Yi Qinfeng and Xia Wendy, directly dispersing their attacks and sending them flying. Master, be careful. The Black God Ant saw that Xia Wendy was in danger and decisively gave up on killing Lian Xing. It flew towards Xia Wendy with a monstrous demonic aura and blocked in front of her, helping her dissolve the killing move of the three souls of the Tian clan. So strong. These three souls of the Tian clan were so strong when they were alive. They definitely surpassed me. Seeing the terror of the three souls of the Tian clan, the Black God Ant, whose demonic aura was surging within its body, revealed a grave expression. With its strength, it could only deal with one soul of the Tian clan at most. If it was surrounded by three souls of the Tian clan at the same time, it would be doomed. Hey Yin, you were able to force out the ancient secret of Xingluo Sky City. Even if you die, you can be proud. Seeing the appearance of the three souls of the Tian clan that had instantly turned the situation around and intimidated everyone, Sha Tianya revealed a sinister expression. You want to turn the situation around with just three souls of the Tian clan? You're too naive. Xia Wendy coldly snorted and took out the medallion that the Luo Shun had given her. In this dangerous situation, Xia Wendy had no choice but to use this trump card to deal with the three souls of the Tian clan. Ha! A crisp cracking sound rang out as Xia Wendy crushed the medallion. A powerful energy spread out from the medallion and turned into the Luo Shun's soul avatar. It wore an ancient Taoist robe and possessed unfathomable strength. It's you. Seeing the Luo Shun's aged face, The three souls of the Tian clan immediately recognized him. They revealed a surprised expression and did not dare to approach him. "You three souls of the Tian clan, why did you come out to stir up trouble instead of staying in the Tianling cemetery?" The Luo Shun's avatar coldly looked at the three souls of the Tian clan and spoke with killing intent. "Old thing, you want to threaten our lives with just a remnant soul?" The three souls of the Tian clan were arrogant. Although they were a little apprehensive of the Luo Shun's avatar's strength, they did not retreat. "It's enough to kill you." As he spoke, the Luo Shun's avatar took a step forward and appeared in front of the three souls of the Tian clan like an illusory shadow. A large amount of Dao intent surged out of his body like starlight and launched a fierce attack at them. Although it was just an avatar, the Luo Shun's avatar's strength was beyond everyone's imagination. With a raise of his hand, the Tian clan's soul was sent flying. "Father, who is this old Taoist?" After seeing the Luo Shun's avatar fight the three souls of the Tian clan, Sha Bingyun, who had retreated to Sha Tianya's side, bit her lip and spoke with heavy injuries. Not only her, but even Sha Tianya did not expect that Yi Chunfeng's side would have such a trump card. He did not know. He had never seen this person before. The Luo Shun had not appeared for several tens of thousands of years. Thus, Sha Tianya and Lian Xing had never seen him before and did not know his identity. "Father, if the 9th level of the heaven staircase shatters and the three souls of the Tian clan are defeated, do we still have anything to rely on?" Sha Bingyun originally thought that with the appearance of the three souls of the Tian clan, the situation would immediately turn around. However, reality gave her a heavy blow, causing her to feel uneasy. "Don't worry. The Tian clan will not let their inheritance be destroyed. The one who has the last laugh will definitely be us, Sha Tianya." A murderous light flashed in his eyes as he glanced at Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun. "Senior, we'll help you." Yi Chunfeng was not sure if the Luo Shin's avatar would appear. Thus, his avatar was his strongest trump card. In order to prevent any accidents, Yi Chunfeng, Xiao Wendy, Qingu Qiu, and the Black God Ant rushed forward to help the Luo Shun's avatar deal with the souls of the Tian clan. They wanted to kill them as soon as possible and take control of the situation. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 984. Alright, let's end this quickly. The Luo Shun clone nodded. A large amount of will of Dao continued to condense into various forms of attacks, attacking the divine clan's soul, who was the strongest, and suppressing his attacks. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test, master, be careful. The Black God Ant warned as he transformed into his most powerful battle form. Astonishing power erupted from his body as he charged toward one of the divine race souls and engaged in a fierce battle. "Let's go." Yi Chunfeng and the others didn't hesitate either. They all ignited their bloodline power and attacked the last divine race soul, whose power was comparable to Nirvana's. Blue sky seal as Yi Chunfeng and the others closed in. The divine race soul opened its mouth and spat out a seal of light. The seal was like a towering mountain as it crashed into the divine race soul. Although Yi Chunfeng and Qingu Qiu had both cultivated the green sky technique and formed the blue sky seal, their blue sky seal was far inferior to the blue sky seal formed by the divine race soul. Sword puppet. When Yi Chunfeng saw that the mountain-like clear sky seal was about to strike him, he summoned the sword spirit puppet and used its indestructible body to take on the clear sky seal. Boom! The blue sky seal struck the sword puppet, instantly depleting half of its energy. Terrifying explosive power exploded on the sword puppet's body and forced it back. Boundless heavenly sword strike of the star, God Myriad Dao, swords, as one seizing the opportunity when the sword spirit puppet was clashing head-on with the blue heaven seal. Yi Chunfeng and the other two raised the power of their Dao wills to the limit and executed their killing moves. Like meteors falling to the ground, they attacked the divine soul. The terrifying might was like a boundless ocean, blotting out the sky and covering the sun. It ruthlessly smashed into the soul of the Tian clan, forcefully causing cracks to appear on his body. Puny humans, I'll devour you. With its body injured, the divine race soul immediately went berserk. It borrowed the power of the heavenly tomb to repair the cracks on its body. It then unleashed its most powerful attack toward Yi Chunfeng and the others. Purple Beginnings Lightning was the nemesis of all souls. Yi Chunfeng immediately unleashed his Purple Beginnings Lightning in response to the divine ray soul's attack. Violent holy lightning gushed out of his body, transforming into a giant lightning dragon. Thunder roared, and its might spread out in all directions, shaking the entire space. Heavenly Tao Disc, the Celestial's soul grew serious. It immediately mobilized the power of the heavens to form a disc of Heavenly Tao. It forcefully blocked the lightning dragon and continuously shredded it. Vermilion Bird Heavenly Mountain, Tao, talismanic demonic puppet, when the soul of the celestial race clashed head-on with the holy thunder of Purple Beginnings. Yi Chunfeng and the other two unleashed their killing moves one after another. They attacked the twisting void, causing space to blur, and the Heavenly Tao disc, wanting to destroy it. Boom, boom, boom. Terrifying explosions rang out incessantly. The shockwaves from the explosions were like the wrath of a god. They spread out in all directions, causing cracks to appear on the ancient walls of Xingluo Heavenly City. Seeing that the Heavenly Tao compass was unable to withstand the ferocious attacks of Yi Chunfeng and the others, the heavenly race's soul borrowed the power of the heavenly tomb and suddenly exerted its strength. It pushed against the two great ancient Tao treasures, and two terrifying clones closed in on Yi Chunfeng and the others. Boom! In the next moment, the Heavenly Tao disc exploded. A terrifying explosive force blasted toward Yi Chunfeng and the others. Although Yi Chunfeng and the others managed to dodge in time, they were still injured by the Heavenly Tao disc's explosion. Apart from Yi Chunfeng, Xia Wendy and Qinggu Qiu's bodies were injured to varying degrees. Large amounts of blood spurted out from their mouths. Blood Demon Diagram. Although Yi Chunfeng and the others' talents were unprecedented, they were still no match for the divine ray soul with Nirvana strength. Yi Chunfeng quickly summoned the Blood Demon Diagram, using this evil artifact to forcefully increase his strength. Let's go. Kill Qinggu Qiu first, then He Yin. Sha Tianya and the other two stabilized their injuries and attacked Yi Chunfeng and the others together. They wanted to take advantage of their experience to kill Qinggu Qiu, who was relatively weaker. When Sha Tianya and the others approached with the power of Xingluo, Heavenly City, Kong Sungchun and the others intercepted them. Using their Tao treasures, they launched attacks at Sha Tianya and the others, diverting their attention and preventing them from approaching Yi Chunfeng and the others. Courting death, Sha Tianya's eyes were filled with murderous intent. The 6 styles of Thunder Star surged madly, crushing the attacks of Kong Sungchin and the others, forcing them to retreat. However, Kong Sungchin and the others had lived for more than 10,000 years. They had many trump cards. Coupled with the fact that they were level 6 combat beast emperors, they were able to resist the 6 styles of Thunderstar for a while. Defeating armies, who do you think will have a last laugh? Although Ren Tu chose Yi Chunfeng's side at the last moment and joined forces with defeating armies to heavily injure Yu Feng and the others, he never expected that Xingluo Heavenly City would have so many secrets. Seeing the chaotic situation before him, he felt a trace of unease, because he knew that if he chose the wrong side, what awaited him would be death. Victory for the human race's legacy-defeating armies looked at the people who were fighting fiercely with a deep gaze and spat out these words. Why did things develop to this extent? Rintu sighed softly. He regretted his rashness just now, which led to him cutting off his own path of retreat. After fusing with the power of the Blood Demon Diagram, Yi Chunfeng's strength rose sharply, reaching level 5 combat Beast Emperor. However, under the influence of the evil power of the blood demon diagram, Yi Chunfeng's soul showed signs of losing control, and a terrifying evil aura erupted from his body. However, under the control of the God-Eater brain, the evil power that invaded Yi Chunfeng's mind was devoured. Yi Chunfeng immediately summoned the Qianquan sword formation and used all his strength to destroy the divine race's soul. With the strength of a level 5 combat beast emperor, Yi Chunfeng's control of the Qianquan sword formation increased exponentially. With the help of Xiao Wendi and Qinggu Qiu, the divine race's soul was gradually suppressed. Qianquan sword formation fused into one. When the divine race's soul was suppressed, Yi Chunfeng immediately fused his sword soul into the Qianquan sword formation. He controlled the 18 Qianquan swords to fuse together and attacked with Xiao Wendi and Qinggu Qiu. However, when Yi Chunfeng controlled the Qianquan sword formation to attack with all its strength, two extremely fast shadows appeared, surpassing the speed of light. They held incomparably sharp killer swords and stabbed at Yi Chunfeng. At this critical moment, the two kings of assassins, who had been hiding all this time, made their move. They wanted to heavily injure Yi Chunfeng. The timing was perfect. Yi Chunfeng, who was controlling the Qianquan ring, was unable to dodge, and Xiao Wendi and the others were unable to save him. However, Yi Chunfeng's face did not reveal the slightest trace of panic, nor did he try to dodge. He allowed the two kings of assassins to stab him in the back. Qi Shi's soul power defenses were broken, and the incomparably sharp killer sword stabbed into Yi Chunfeng's back, sending blood splattering through the air. However, after piercing Yi Chunfeng's skin, the two kings of assassins discovered that no matter how much force they exerted, their killer swords were unable to penetrate any further. Yi Chunfeng's godfiend body, which was comparable to a high-grade Dao tool, was able to completely block the killer swords. Just as they were shocked and wanted to quickly withdraw, a terrifying force of dizziness violently blasted into their soul seas, causing them to feel slightly dizzy. Sensing the danger, they forcefully dispelled the dizziness. At this moment, Yi Chunfeng's hands quickly formed a series of hand seals. Surging Dao intent and over 100 million kilograms of power surged into the blue sky seal before crashing down on them. Boom, boom, boom. Two resounding booms erupted. The two kings of assassins' bodies were blasted apart by the blue sky seal, and they died on the spot. Yi Chunfeng's domineering killing of the two kings of assassins stunned many people. His terrifying strength had seeped into the depths of everyone's soul. Mobile reading website, book address. In order to facilitate your next reading, you can click on the save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 985. None of us should be alive in this world. Let's perish together. The instant Yi Chunfeng killed the two kings of assassins, a furious roar shook the 9 heavens. The Sky Race's soul, who was at an absolute disadvantage in the battle with Luo Shen's clone, didn't hesitate to burn his soul body and borrow the Heavenly Tomb's power to deal a fatal blow to Luo Shen's clone, wanting to destroy him. Bang bang. The Luo god's avatar revealed a solemn expression as the power of death that could destroy the heavens and the earth came crashing down. He didn't hesitate to detonate both his arms, turning them into a yin-yang disc. Within the yin-yang disc, two small fish formed from Dao will slowly swam about. Yin-yang Pisces disc break. Luo Shen's avatar roared, and the yin-yang disc with the little fish flowing on it went up to meet the incoming death energy, fiercely repelling it. Then, an explosion that was loud enough to make one's eardrums explode suddenly rang out. It shook the void to the point that it cracked and filled the space within a few miles. No! Under the yin-yang Pisces disc's full power attack, the incoming power of death was gradually dispersed. The Sky Race's soul, whose soul power was burning, let out a painful howl as it was destroyed by the yin-yang Pisces disc, dissipating between heaven and earth. Not good. Sha Tianya and the other two had completely suppressed Jiang Xingqian and the other two in terms of offense, forcing them to retreat step by step. When they saw the Luo Shun's avatar explode the soul of a divine race, their hearts fell to the bottom. The Star Emperor's clone was controlling the Xing Luo heavenly wall to fight against the 9 heavenly layers. If the 3 sky races' souls were destroyed, then unless they had strong reinforcements, only death would await them. However, Sha Tianya wasn't sure if there were any almighty sky races living in the Xingluo continent after so many years. If there weren't any, then they wouldn't be able to escape this calamity. Gu Fanqing art the situation was critical. Sha Tianya and Lian Xing, who had a complicated heart, worked together to form several Gu Fanqing covered in Dao patterns. They bombarded Kong Sungqin's group, sending them flying. Then, they closed in on Yi Qinfeng's group, wanting to kill Yi Qinfeng's group first. Buzz! As Sha Tianya and the other two approached, ripples appeared in front of their eyes. Luo Shun's clone, who had lost both of his arms, stood in front of them, blocking their path. Let's do this together. Seeing the Luo Shun's clone exploding his arms, Sha Tianya and the other two controlled the heaven-suppressing orb to borrow the power of the Heaven City to attack him. They wanted to borrow the external force to kill him. Facing the attack of the Heavenly City, the Luo Shun clone didn't evade. With a slight shift of his body, he transformed into a sword and slashed out. A terrifying sword might directly tore apart the Heavenly City's energy as it slashed toward Sha Tianya and the other two. Gu Fanqing Wan Bing Pan Xingluo's doppelganger Luoshan transformed into a sword and slashed out a sword light. Sha Tianya and the other two immediately controlled their Gu Dao treasure to defend against this sword attack. After that attack, the Luo Shin clone, who had lost both arms, continued to attack. Relying on its absolute strength, it forcibly suppressed Sha Tianya and the other two. Soon, Sha Bingyun, who was the weakest, was severely injured by Luo Shin's clone. She left behind a cloud of blood in the air and fell to the ground. Ao, while the Luo Shin clone was ferociously attacking Sha Tianya and the other two, the Black God Ant constantly let out a shocking roar and released powerful demonic energy to attack. Under its all-out attack, the divine race's soul that was fighting fiercely with it was getting more and more injured. The heavenly mausoleum's power that was continuously infusing into the divine race's soul was unable to repair the cracks in his soul body. Kacha, all of a sudden, a huge explosion sounded above the chaotic void. The 9-level heavenly stair couldn't withstand the Xingluo's heavenly wall's attack. Suddenly, cracks appeared on it. The terrifying collision caused a mountain in the distance to crack. The cracks were as smooth as a mirror. Thump, their attacks were countered by the Luo Shin clone, and the 9-level heavenly stair couldn't withstand the Xingluo's heavenly wall. This caused Sha Tianya and the other two's hearts to fall into a bottomless abyss. Although Sha Tianya didn't want to accept his fate and didn't want to die, he had already used up all his trump cards. There was no other way to turn the situation around. The only thing that could save them was the heavens. Demon weeping mountains and rivers, the Black God Ant seized the opportunity and released its strongest demonic energy and power. It forcefully used its bloodline ability and launched its most powerful attack at the divine race's soul. The terrifying demonic energy was like a violent storm. It ruthlessly bombarded the divine race's soul's body, directly blasting it apart and killing the second divine race's soul. After killing its opponent, the Black God Ant, whose demonic energy soared to the sky, immediately appeared beside Xiao Wendy, who was attacking with all her might. Together, they attacked the last divine race's soul. With the help of the Black God Ant, the pressure on Yi Qinfeng and the others was greatly reduced. Under their ferocious attacks, the divine race's soul's injuries became more and more serious. It couldn't withstand their tide-like attacks. The situation was over. Sha Tianya and the other situation was over. Luckily, I bet on the right treasure and stood on the right team. If that He Yin controlled Xingluo Heaven City, I should be able to obtain quite a lot of benefits after contributing so much. Looking at the situation, Rintu secretly heaved a sigh of relief. A faint smile appeared on his cold and arrogant face as he fantasized about his beautiful future. PFFF. PFFF. Luo Shun's clone suddenly exerted strength and continuously slashed out peerless sword lights. It broke through Sha Tianya and Lianxing's Gu Fanqing and sent them flying. They were all heavily injured at the same time. Sha Tianya and the other two were injured. Yi Chunfeng and the others also had an overwhelming advantage and heavily injured the last divine race's soul. In the end, the divine race's soul couldn't withstand the ferocious attacks of Yi Chunfeng, the Black God Ant, and the others. It unwillingly self-destructed its soul body and launched a fatal attack at Yi Chunfeng and the others. However, with the Black God Ant and the three clones defending, Yi Chunfeng and the other two weren't injured. Sha Tianya, you bastard who killed your master and ancestors. The situation is over. Die. Looking at Sha Tianya, who fell to the ground and created a huge crater, Yi Chunfeng instantly fused with the Emperor's Sky Sword and stabbed forward with the linear sword. He wanted to end Sha Tianya's sinful life. Suddenly, a strange cough resounded. A hunchbacked old woman with snow-white hair and wearing a yellow robe appeared in front of Sha Tianya. She was holding onto a dragon-headed walking stick. She stretched out 2 fingers towards the Emperor's Sky Sword that was thrusting over. Buzz! A series of deafening sword cries rang out. The Emperor's Sky Sword that could pierce through a level 6 combat beast emperor was caught by the hunchbacked old woman's wrinkled fingers. A power that exceeded Yi Chunfeng's imagination passed through the Emperor's Sky Sword and into his arm. It directly shook off his right hand that was holding onto the Emperor's Sky Sword, injuring his arm and sending him flying. Yi Chunfeng, seeing Yi Chunfeng flying back while vomiting blood, Xiao Wendy's heart tightened and she immediately hugged him. However, the moment she hugged Yi Chunfeng, Xiao Wendy was also injured by the recoil from Yi Chunfeng's body. Her blood and qi started to churn. You dare to kill my divine race's heroic spirit and destroy my divine race's foundation? The hunchbacked old woman revealed a domineering aura. A heaven's hand strangely descended and grabbed onto the Luo Shen clone that had lost both of its arms. The terrifying power forcefully tore the Luo Shen clone apart. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 986. What? Who is that person? Why is she so powerful? She was able to crush the old Taoist clone with her huge hand. Could that old lady be a true sky race expert? There were too many secrets hidden in Xingluo Sky City. Today was an eye-opener. The crowd hiding in the distance was shocked when they saw the old lady using her hand of heaven to crush the Luo Shen clone. They looked as if they had seen a ghost. F***CK. Is the heavens playing with me? Why is there another change? Seeing more and more cracks on the Luo Shen clone, Butcher's eyes widened. He cursed out loud. Large amounts of cold sweat appeared on his forehead as he thought of running away. He did not expect that there were still sky race experts in Xingluo continent. More and more cracks appeared on the Luo Shen clone's body, but he was still calm. He looked at the old lady who was full of wrinkles and had a stern look in her eyes. He was neither happy nor sad. I am a dying man. If you did not want to destroy my sky race's inheritance, I would not have come. The old lady concealed the stern look in her eyes and said indifferently, "This is not your world. You should just go back to where you came from." Although he was on the verge of destruction, the Luo Shen clone was fearless and said slowly, "Luo Shen, you want to threaten me with a mere clone? You are too naive." The hunchbacked old woman revealed a mocking expression. She increased the power of her hand of heaven and crushed the Luo Shen clone. "The heavens are helping me. It is the heavens that are helping me." There are still sky race experts in Xingluo continent who are not dead. When Sha Tianyao saw the stooped old woman crush the Luo Shen's clone, he revealed a look of pleasant surprise. With the old lady's support, even if the Star Emperor's clone controlled the Xingluo sky wall to destroy the 9 levels of the sky stage, it would not shake their foundation. The Xingluo sky city would still be their world. After eliminating the 3 great clans, there would be no one in Xingluo continent who could go against them. Little ant, I wonder if you still recognize me. After crushing the Luo Shun's doppelganger, the hunchbacked old woman cast her gaze towards the low-grade sacred beast, Black God Ant, and said indifferently, "Of course I know her. Even if you turned into ashes, I would still recognize you." The Black Divine Ant looked at the old woman with hatred in his eyes and said, "If Star Emperor hadn't saved me that year, I would have been killed by you. Not being able to kill you back then was indeed an accident. Today, I want to see who can save you." Although the hunchbacked old woman did not emit a terrifying aura, her silence as she stood in the air gave off an extremely oppressive feeling. It was as if she was a primordial beast that could tear them apart with a single bite. "Don't panic. If there is any danger, I will send you to the universe realm. With the defense of the universe realm, you should be able to withstand her attacks." The universe realm was Yi Chenfeng's final escape route. With the defense of the universe realm, it was enough to block the attacks of the old woman. "Get out of here." Suddenly, a deep voice came from the Xingluo celestial wall. At the critical moment, the Xingluo celestial wall forcibly shook open the 9 levels of the heaven staircase, and with the power to annihilate the void, it bombarded the old woman. "Go!" Yi Chenfeng and the others did not waste this opportunity. Taking advantage of the time when the hunchbacked old woman shook the Xingluo celestial wall, they quickly escaped from the Xingluo celestial wall. Under the continuous attack of the heaven-exterminating Great Formation, the Great Formation that enveloped the Xingluo celestial wall was full of cracks, creating an excellent opportunity for Yi Chenfeng and the others to escape. "Humph! No one can leave today." Seeing Yi Chenfeng and the others break out of the encirclement and escape, the hunchbacked old woman who had shaken open the Xingluo celestial wall gently took a step forward. A large amount of energy ripples appeared under her feet. In the next moment, as if she had teleported, she appeared and intercepted Yi Chenfeng and the others, not giving them a chance to break out of the encirclement. "Let me send you to hell." The hunchbacked old woman's silver hair fluttered in the wind. Like a killing god, she launched a killing blow at Yi Chenfeng and the others, wanting to kill them. "I'm afraid I can't let you do as you wish." A vigorous voice rang out. The hunchbacked old woman's killing blow shattered inch by inch like glass. Before it could reach Yi Chenfeng, it dissipated. Slap! The crisp sound of a slap rang out. When the hunchbacked old woman who was filled with killing intent turned around, a large old hand ruthlessly slapped her cheek, directly sending her flying. Silence, incomparable silence. Witnessing the scene of the haughty and insufferably arrogant hunchbacked old woman being slapped and sent flying, everyone present seemed to have been immobilized. They stood dumbfounded on the spot, dumbfounded by the scene before them. Heavens, am I dreaming? Who is this person? How can he be so fierce? To slap a powerful being from the celestial race? Our Xingluo continent still has such an expert? Everyone who had regained their senses turned to look at the blurry figure that had mysteriously appeared. When they saw the person who had slapped the hunchbacked old woman, they looked as if they had seen a ghost. A knife in his chest. Who's that old Taoist? Why does he have a knife in his chest? Does he think it's cool? Look at him. Doesn't he look like the clone of a powerful being from the celestial race? It really is him. Damn, too many things have happened today. Who knows who will have the last laugh? Looking at the old Taoist who was gradually revealing his true appearance, the entire Xingluo continent was in an uproar. Gulp, defeating armies, who do you think will win? Butcher gulped as he wiped the sweat off his forehead. He looked at defeating armies, who had a calm expression on his face, and said uneasily, "The human race's legacy will win." Defeating armies repeated what he had just said. "Let's hope so. Otherwise, we're finished." Butcher let out a heavy breath and suppressed the uneasiness in his heart as he muttered to himself, "Luotian, you dare to hit me?" Looking at the old Taoist who had slapped her in front of everyone, the hunchbacked old woman's eyes spat out thick flames of hatred. The terrifying power caused the space around her to constantly distort. Why wouldn't I dare to hit you? Luo Shun, who was wearing an ancient Taoist robe and had a dagger in her chest, smiled faintly. You. The hunchbacked old woman was about to vomit blood. As the only powerful being from the celestial race left in the Xingluo continent, she had never been humiliated like this. However, Luotian's power was too terrifying. She had some scruples. Senior, you really came. Seeing Luotian appear in time, Yi Qinfeng's heart calmed down. He immediately stepped forward and bowed. With Luotian's support, all problems would be easily solved. Little rascal, you already knew that I would come, didn't you? Luotian said calmly. If it wasn't for this old mother, we would have destroyed the celestial race's inheritance without your help. Yi Qinfeng said respectfully. Stinking brat. Hearing Yi Qinfeng call her old mother, the hunchbacked old woman was so angry that her liver hurt. She really wanted to tear Yi Qinfeng's mouth apart. This brat really didn't know how to talk. Leave her to me. I'll leave the rest to you. Luotian said slowly. Since you want to destroy the celestial race's inheritance, I'll help you. Thank you, Senior, Yi Qinfeng said gratefully. Luotian, are you really going to fight to the death with me? The hunchbacked old woman said angrily. It's not that I'm going to fight to the death. As she spoke, Luotian took a step forward. With the terrifying power of Dao, she attacked the hunchbacked old woman. The two most powerful people in the Xingluo continent were fighting fiercely in the sky above the Xingluo Sky City. Mobile reading site, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on Save at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 987. Crack, crack. Luo Shun and the old woman's attacks collided. There was no shocking power, no tearing of the void, and no ripples. Watermark advertisement test, however. In the eyes of Yi Qinfeng and the others, their attacks were shocking. The two powerful attacks corroded and penetrated each other. Even a 6th-level Beast Emperor would be shocked to death by these two forces. Luo Shun, we could use one blade in the past, and we can do the same now. Today, I will skin you alive. The old woman gritted her teeth and roared as she attacked. Do you know why I didn't pull out this knife? Luotian revealed an enigmatic smile and said, I am constantly reminding myself that I will always remember the shame of the past. I will never pull out this knife until I kill all of you alien tribe people. Why? Do you want to take revenge on me? The old woman said disdainfully. I can't take revenge on the divine clan, but I can still destroy you. Luo Shun increased the intensity of her attacks. The glittering Dao continuously bombarded the old woman, and the space in front of her kept ripping. Luo Shun and the old woman fought fiercely. The Xingluo sky wall controlled by Star Emperor's clone also collided fiercely with the 9 levels in the void. As time passed, more and more cracks appeared on the 9 levels. It could not withstand the Xingluo sky wall's attacks and could shatter at any time. Sky measuring ruler unable to withstand Luo Shun's attacks, the old woman spat out a middle-grade sky measuring ruler covered with ancient patterns. It shattered Luo Shun's attacks and counterattacked with all her strength. Junior, lend me the 9 Dragon Jade Wall. After dodging the attack of the sky measuring ruler, Luo Shun sent a voice transmission to Yi Qinfeng. Okay. Yi Qinfeng nodded and lent the supreme grade 9 Dragon Jade Wall to Luo Shun without hesitation. Supreme grade Saint Treasure. Feeling the destructive power of the 9 Dragon Jade Wall, the old woman showed a trace of seriousness. She did not expect that there would be a supreme grade Saint Treasure in such a low-grade world. Roar! Roar! 3 deafening dragon roars rang out as Luotian poured a terrifying will of Dao into the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus. Instantly, 3 ferocious dragons flew out of the 9 Dragon Jade Annulus and collided with the heaven-measuring ruler. The terrifying power directly shattered the ruler's shadows created by the heaven-measuring ruler and flew toward the hunchbacked old woman, forcing her to retreat. Luotian used the 9 dragons' jade annulus to suppress the hunchbacked old woman, while Yi Chenfeng and the rest launched their attacks at Sha Tianya and the other two. As long as they could kill them, there was nothing to fear about the others. Seeing Yi Chenfeng and the others flying towards him at high speed, Sha Tianya was filled with unwillingness. He felt that the heavens were toying with him, giving him hope time and time again, only to destroy it time and time again. If not for his high tolerance, he would have long gone mad. However, he did not accept his fate, nor could he accept it. He quickly controlled the heaven-suppressing orb and merged it with the power of the Heaven City to suppress the injuries on his body. He tried his best to increase his strength and fight with everything he had. At this moment, Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun also merged with the power of the Xingluo Heaven City and fought alongside Sha Tianya. They fought fiercely against Yi Chenfeng and the others in the air. After merging with the power of the Xingluo Heaven City, Sha Tianya and the other two's strength reached a terrifying level. In addition to the amplification of their beast soul form, they had surpassed the limit of a grade 6 combat beast emperor. However, the Black God Ant's strength was too terrifying. In its battle form, it completely suppressed Sha Tianya and shattered his attacks. Its surging demonic energy forced Sha Tianya to retreat. Lian Xing, the 8th Slaughter War Emperor, had truly misjudged you. A shameless and vicious woman like you should have gone to hell long ago. Yi Chenfeng attacked Lian Xing and humiliated her at the same time. I. Hearing Yi Chenfeng repeatedly mentioning the 8th Slaughter War Emperor, Lian Xing's heart was in a mess. She wanted to open her mouth to explain, but she found that she did not know where to start. However, in her mind, memories that had been imprinted in the deepest part of her soul, memories that she had sealed a long time ago, appeared. The appearance of these memories completely scattered her energy and affected her attacks. She was constantly attacked by Yi Chenfeng and Xiao Wendi, and her injuries continued to worsen. Xingluo's doppelganger was killing them. Sha Bingyun continuously spat out blood essence into Xingluo's doppelganger, increasing his attacks and defending herself against the attacks of Qiangu Qiu, the slaughter doppelganger, and the devil puppet. However, the attacks of Qiangu Qiu and the others were too ferocious. Sha Bingyun's doppelganger's strength could not withstand them at all. Qi, a sword ray streaked across the sky at an astonishing speed. The flying snow sword in Qiangu Qiu's hand pierced through Sha Bingyun's lower abdomen, breaking through her defenses and penetrating her body. A large amount of blood spurted out. Bingyun, seeing that Sha Bingyun was heavily injured, Lian Xing's heart tightened. Without any hesitation, she ignited her blood essence to block Yi Chenfeng and Xiao Wendi's attacks. However, just as she was about to withdraw, Xiao Wendi unleashed the star diagram and life and death Dao diagram. They smashed into Lian Xing's body, cutting off her opportunity to rescue Sha Bingyun and heavily injuring her body, sending her flying. While Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun were both heavily injured, Luo Shun borrowed the might of the 9-dragon jade annulus to completely suppress the old woman's attacks. Victory was only a matter of time. Luo Shun, I'll spare your life today. Sooner or later, my heavenly race's supreme expert will seek justice for me. Unable to block the 9-dragon jade annulus attacks, the old woman's injuries continued to worsen. With one of her arms hanging limply, she wanted to break out of the encirclement. Wasn't it too late to leave now? The yin-yang Dao diagram rose from Luo Shen's body and sealed the entire space. She wanted to trap the silver-haired old man in Xingluo Heavenly City and kill him. Heaven measuring ruler, so close, yet so far. The old woman quickly fused with the heaven measuring ruler and unleashed her strongest attack. The terrifying heaven measuring ruler was like a white dragon, forcibly tearing apart the yin-yang Dao diagram. In the next instant, the old woman raised her speed to the peak and fled out of Xingluo Heavenly City as if she had teleported. You won't be able to escape. Luo Shun chased after the old woman as she tried her best to break out of the encirclement. She was determined to kill her and eliminate any future troubles. Damn it! Several thoughts flashed through Sha Tianya's mind when he saw his greatest reliance, the old woman, escape. In the end, he cast his gaze toward Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun, who were getting more and more injured and had almost no strength to resist. Die for me! The black god ant roared, and a heaven-shaking power erupted from its arms as it punched toward Sha Tianya. Suddenly, Sha Tianya's blood and qi started to burn. His body flashed and turned into several afterimages, dodging the black god ant's attack. Then, he appeared behind Lian Xing, who was sent flying by Xiao Wendy, and hugged her voluptuous body. Just when Lian Xing wanted to take a breather and stabilize her injuries under Sha Tianya's protection, she suddenly felt her body's defenses being broken. A large hand pierced into her body and grabbed her heart. Tian Tianya. When Lian Xing turned around, she met with Sha Tianya's merciless and bloodthirsty eyes. She never imagined that Sha Tianya would want to kill her. Rather than both of us dying, why don't you protect me and let me take revenge for you too? Sha Tianya coldly said. After saying that, Sha Tianya crushed her heart and took away the heaven-suppressing orb that she had refined and fused it with his body. I'm so foolish, I'm so hateful. On her deathbed, tears flowed out of Lian Xing's eyes as she watched Sha Tianya charge toward the heavily injured Sha Bingyun. She died in despair and regret. After mercilessly killing Lian Xing, Sha Tianya arrived behind Sha Bingyun. Under her terrified gaze, he chopped off her head and took away the heaven-suppressing orb. Even a vicious tiger would eat its own cubs. At the moment of life and death, Sha Tianya had gone mad. Mobile reading site. Book address. To make it easier for you to read this book next time, you can click on the Say button at the bottom to record this book. You will be able to see it the next time you open your bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 988. 3 Heaven-Suppressing Pearls as One. After mercilessly killing the 2 people closest to him, the bloodthirsty Sha Tianya immediately recognized 2 heaven-suppressing pearls as their master. He then merged the 3 pearls together and channeled the power of the Heaven City into his body. 1 heaven-suppressing pearl was enough to raise Sha Tianya's strength to nirvana, and 3 heaven-suppressing pearls allowed Sha Tianya's strength to be close to nirvana's. This was also the reason why he mercilessly killed Lian Xing and Sha Bingyun. If he wanted to survive in this predicament and kill his way out, he had to borrow the 3 heaven-suppressing pearls and channel the power of the Heaven City to the greatest extent. As the 3 heaven-suppressing pearls shone brightly, Sha Tianya's strength skyrocketed. He didn't fight for long and relied on his absolute strength to break out of the Xingluo Heaven City. He wanted to leave as soon as possible and find a chance to make a comeback. Don't let him escape. Yi Chenfeng didn't expect Sha Tianya to be so vicious and ruthless to the point of mercilessly killing his wife and children. Sha Tianya's selfish and vicious actions had touched Yi Chenfeng's reverse scale, and he was determined to kill this murderer. Start Dao diagram. Life and death Dao diagram. While Sha Tianya was trying his best to break out of the encirclement, Xiao Wendy blocked in front of him. The 2 Dao diagrams intertwined and released a terrifying Dao intent toward Sha Tianya. The power of the star Dao diagram and life and death Dao diagram was extremely terrifying, but Sha Tianya's strength was too terrifying. Borrowing the power of the Xingluo Heaven City, he quickly punched out twice. The terrifying fist radiance intertwined with innate Dao patterns and directly shattered the 2 Dao diagrams. Vermilion Bird Cauldron. Suppress. When the 2 Dao diagrams were destroyed, Yi Chenfeng controlled the Vermilion Bird Cauldron to descend from the sky and suppress Sha Tianya. Heaven arraying palm strike. The Vermilion Bird Cauldron was like a living mountain of fire that came crashing down. Sha Tianya quickly executed a terrifying Dao skill to counter it. Layers of heaven arraying palm strikes landed on the Vermilion Bird Cauldron consecutively. The powerful recoil caused the soul of the Vermilion Bird to howl in pain. After breaking through Yi Chenfeng and Xiao Wendy's attacks, Sha Tianya didn't slow down and continued to break out of the encirclement. Heaven and earth. At this moment, the black divine ant blocked in front of Sha Tianya again. Its terrifying demonic power and physical strength fused together, shattering the void and earth as it blasted toward Sha Tianya. The black god ant's strength was too terrifying. Its earth-shattering demonic energy shattered Sha Tianya's attack and stopped him. Courting death, Sha Tianya's eyes shot out a thick killing intent. The power of the Heaven City transformed into two giant hands of energy and was about to attack the black god ant, forcing it to retreat. Suddenly, a powerful soul-suppressing force blasted into his soul sea. Although he was already on guard, his reaction was still slightly sluggish. Strike of the Star Xia, Wendy appeared in the air. Her star god bloodline ignited, transforming into a star god phantom. It was as if a boundless sea of stars fell to the ground, bombarding Sha Tianya. Gu Fanqing Formula Sha Tianya, who had come back to his senses, defended with all his might. The rolling will of the Tao transformed into numerous stars that sealed off the space in front of him and collided with the star god projection. In an instant, a large amount of Tao light filled the void, causing the space to tremble violently. Sha Tianya relied on his absolute strength to forcefully tear apart the star god's attack. At this moment, Yi Qinfeng, the black god ant, Qinggu Qiu, Kong Sungchun, and the rest surrounded Sha Tianya and attacked him fiercely, not giving him a chance to escape. 6 styles of wind and lightning. Sha Tianya did not panic as waves of attacks surged towards him. He evolved his Tao intent to the extreme, transforming it into a sea of wind and lightning. He continuously tore apart Yi Qinfeng and the rest's attacks as he slowly approached the edge of Xingluo Heaven City. Universe Sword Formation. Seeing that Sha Tianya had broken through the encirclement, Yi Qinfeng's entire body merged with the Cosmos Sword Formation. Under the amplification of the Sword Spirit, he formed a terrifying sword diagram that attacked Sha Tianya, forcefully blocking his path. As Yi Qinfeng attacked with all his might, the Purple Beginning's holy lightning also surged out under his control, bombarding Sha Tianya's body. Hey Yin, sooner or later, I will kill you. Sha Tianya looked at Yi Qinfeng with hatred. If it wasn't for him, he wouldn't have fallen to such a state. At this moment, he wanted nothing more than to eat Yi Qinfeng's flesh, drink his blood, and tear him into pieces. That day would never come. Yi Qinfeng sneered, controlling the Universe Sword Formation to attack with all its might, preventing Sha Tianya from escaping. Killing his wife and son. Even if Sha Tianya managed to escape, it would be too late. There would no longer be a place for him in the Xingluo continent. That's right, I didn't expect Sha Tianya to be so ruthless. For himself, he killed the people closest to him. This kind of person doesn't deserve to live in this world. Looking at the trapped Sha Tianya, the Bai family, Jiang family, and Jasper Palace's experts gathered together and discussed in low voices. Take a guess, if Sha Tianya was killed, who would become the new city lord of Xingluo Heaven City? Was there need to guess? Other than him, who else could it be? At this moment, the same person appeared in the minds of the 3 superpowers experts. That person had completely subdued them. The longer the battle dragged on, the more disadvantageous it would be for Sha Tianya. Slowly, Sha Tianya lost his patience. He stimulated his potential at all costs, condensing a large number of stars filled with innate Tao patterns. He tore apart the Universe Sword Formation, crushed the Black God Ant and Xiao Wendy's attacks, and appeared in front of Yi Qinfeng. Die! Sha Tianya, whose eyes were bloodshot, let out a roar and launched a sure-kill attack at Yi Qinfeng. At this moment, the soul power in Yi Qinfeng's mind exploded, forming a dizziness force that blasted into his soul sea. His soul trembled, and his attack speed was slightly affected. Sha Tianya's attack was slow, but Yi Qinfeng didn't dodge. If he dodged, Sha Tianya would have a chance to escape. Yi Qinfeng didn't care about the cost. While the Universe Sword Formation defended, the Black God Ant, Xiao Wendy, and Xinggu Qiu appeared and attacked Sha Tianya together. Even Pejun and Rin Tu appeared at this moment, unleashing their most powerful attacks to kill their way over. Boom, 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 earth-shattering explosions reverberated through the nine heavens. Yi Chenfeng, who received Sha Tianya's attack head-on, was sent flying. If he wasn't strong enough, this collision would have destroyed him. Xiao Wendy and the others were also injured at the same time, and their defensive formation was broken. Boom, 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 suddenly, an earth-shattering explosion reverberated in the void. The intense battle between the Xingluo sky wall and the nine heavenly layers had finally concluded. The nine heavenly layers were shattered by the Xingluo sky wall, turning into Dao pattern fragments that rained down from the sky. With the nine heavenly layers shattered, the Star Emperor's clone immediately controlled the Xingluo sky wall to come crashing down. With the power to destroy everything, it blasted towards Sha Tianya, whose expression changed drastically. Sensing the danger, Sha Tianya instinctively wanted to dodge, but the Black God Ant's reaction was faster. It stretched out its strong arms and hugged Sha Tianya, preventing him from dodging. Boom! The Xingluo sky wall came crashing down, and the terrifying power shattered Sha Tianya's arms that were raised up high. His two legs were also pressed into the ground by this terrifying power. At the brink of death, Sha Tianya, whose white hair was fluttering, burned his blood essence and borrowed the power of the Heaven City to break open the Xingluo sky wall. Suddenly, a blinding sword light flashed in front of his eyes. His pupils contracted as he saw Yi Chenfeng thrusting over with the Emperor Heaven Sword. For this sword, Yi Chenfeng had raised his attack power to the peak and even activated the Sword Soul. The power of the Emperor Heaven Sword's Sword Soul could be said to be shocking and unparalleled. Sha Tianya's defense was broken, and the Emperor Heaven Sword pierced into his forehead like a hot knife through butter. Large amounts of cracks appeared in his head. Sha Tianya, go repent in hell. Yi Chenfeng roared, and his surging power and Dao intent burst out. Boundless power surged out from the Emperor Heaven Sword and pierced through the Heaven Suppression Pearl's defense, causing Sha Tianya's head and soul to explode, ending his sinful life. Mobile reading website, book address. For the convenience of your next reading, you can click on the bookmark button at the bottom to record your reading history. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 989. Dead. Sha Tianya was dead. Witnessing Sha Tianya's head being pierced by Yi Chenfeng's sword and dying on the spot shocked everyone present. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement, test, especially the experts of Xingluo Heaven City. They were so scared that their bodies trembled. They looked at the tyrannical Yi Chenfeng in fear that he would take revenge. Heaven-suppressing orb keep. After killing Sha Tianya in one strike, Yi Chenfeng immediately took away Xingluo Heaven City's treasures, the three heaven-suppressing orbs, the Gu Dao treasure, Gu Fanxing, and Xingluo's doppelganger. Taking away the heaven-suppressing orbs meant that Yi Chenfeng had become the master of Xingluo Heaven City. By borrowing the power of the three heaven-suppressing orbs, he could directly borrow the power of Xingluo Heaven City to surpass the limits of a combat beast emperor. Luo Shan, the experts of the heaven race will definitely take revenge for me. Suddenly, a painful roar reverberated through the nine heavens like a surging wave that resounded through the horizon. In the next moment, Yi Chenfeng and the others saw the space in the distance tremble violently. 6 deadly dragons flew through the air, causing the space to collapse. Following that, the old woman's roar disappeared, and the chaotic space gradually returned to normal. Phew! The almighty expert of the heaven race is finally dead. Yi Chenfeng let out a long breath and revealed a smile. If the old woman did not die, she would definitely become a poisonous thorn in the Xingluo continent. Yi Chenfeng would not be able to eat or sleep in peace, and he would not be able to leave in peace. Many thanks to Senior for helping. Yi Chenfeng will never forget it. Yi Chenfeng saw Luo Shan flying over and immediately went forward to express his gratitude. Junior, do you know why I took such a huge risk to help you kill the almighty expert of the heaven race? Luo Shun returned the 9-dragon jade annulus to Yi Chunfeng and called him to the side. She looked deeply at him and asked, "Senior saw hope in me." Yi Chunfeng said in a neither arrogant nor humble manner, "Yes, I do see hope in you to rebuild the legacy of our human race, which is why I took the risk to help you. However, although the Xingluo continent's celestial race inheritance has been destroyed, the celestial race's true inheritance is not here, so you still have a long way to go to rebuild the human race's inheritance. The slightest mistake could lead to eternal damnation." Luo Shen nodded and said, "Junior understands, but no matter how great the difficulties and obstacles are, Junior will not give up." Yi Chunfeng slowly said, his voice filled with an incomparably strong conviction. "All right, Junior, the matter here is done. I'm leaving. Let's meet again if fate wills it. I hope you won't disappoint me." After speaking, Luo Shen Luo stepped out in the air. Her figure turned blurry and vanished before Yi Chunfeng's eyes. "Now that Sha Tianya is dead, do you still want to continue resisting?" After Luo Shen Luo left, Yi Chunfeng stepped on the air and arrived in front of the Xingluo Heaven City experts. His sharp eyes looked at them and questioned them without allowing them to resist. Looking into Yi Chunfeng's eyes that were sharper than a blade and feeling the aura he emitted, the Xingluo Heaven City experts were terrified. No one dared to contradict him in public, and no one dared to resist. "Chunfeng, now that Sha Tianya and Sha Bingyan are dead, you will be the new master of Xingluo Heaven City. I believe that in your hands, Xingluo Heaven City will be even more glorious," Kong Sungchun intentionally said. Yi Chunfeng did not decline and nodded. "I don't know if any of you have any objections. Greetings to the city lord under the leadership of the Xingluo Heaven City Great Protector Sha Zhe." One by one, the Xingluo Heaven City experts lowered their noble heads and came forward to greet Yi Chunfeng. As for the eastern region Lord Luo Ho, he was so scared that his body trembled. He was afraid that Yi Chunfeng would take revenge on him. Luo Ho. Just as Luo Ho was nervous and thinking about whether to escape from Xingluo Heaven City, a thunderous voice sounded in his ears. He was so scared that 2 of his 3 souls left his body. Large amounts of sweat appeared on his forehead. City Lord, I am here." Suppressing the fear in his heart, Luo Ho stood up in the crowd and braced himself. "Luo Ho, I will leave the cleaning up to you. If you do a good job, you will still be the Eastern Region Lord. But if you do not handle it well, you can bring your head to me." Although Yi Chunfeng and Luo Ho had a grudge, he knew that Luo Ho was capable and left the cleaning up to him. "Don't worry, City Lord. I am good at this. I will definitely satisfy you." Hearing Yi Chunfeng's words, Luo Ho was overjoyed. He patted his chest and promised, "Everyone, let us go to the Xingluo Great Hall." After saying that, Yi Chunfeng led the group to the majestic Star Luo Palace. The walls of the palace were inlaid with jades that looked like the stars in the sky. "Chunfeng, congratulations on becoming the new city lord of Xingluo Heaven City. We can rest assured that Xingluo Heaven City will be in your hands." Bai Feng smiled and congratulated. They believed that under Yi Chunfeng's leadership, Xingluo Heaven City would definitely walk towards glory. The Xingluo continent would also truly stabilize. After eliminating Sha Tianya, the true demon clan, and the Sun Luo Hall, the Xingluo continent should be stable for a short period of time. I hope that the other celestial race inheritances will not retaliate against us. Yi Chunfeng sat on the main seat of the Great Hall and slowly said, "Chunfeng, are there any other celestial race inheritances in this world?" By family head by Qing Tian asked. Yi Chunfeng nodded and said, "The celestial race's biggest inheritance is the 9 Heavens God Kingdom." The 9 Heavens God Kingdom was one of the 3 great God Kingdoms in the Central World. Bai Qing Tian and the others all gasped. Although Xingluo Heaven City was the overlord of the Xingluo continent, its overall power was still far from the 9 Heavens God Kingdom. If the 9 Heavens God Kingdom wanted to retaliate, they would not be able to stop them. Everyone, don't be too nervous. The 3 great God Kingdoms have a very delicate relationship. The 9 Heavens God Kingdom probably won't retaliate against us. And I plan to go to the Central World soon to take a look. Yi Chenfeng said. Central World. Xiao Wendy raised her eyebrows and looked at Yi Chenfeng thoughtfully, but didn't say anything. Xingluo Heaven City changed, and the news of Yi Chenfeng becoming the new master of Xingluo Heaven City spread like a hurricane across the entire Xingluo continent. Many restaurants and tea houses were spreading his amazing deeds and methods, making him even more miraculous. When Yi Chenfeng's fame reached its peak in the Xingluo continent, he refined the 3 heaven suppression orbs. Xingluo's avatar, Gu Fanxing, took away part of the collection of the Xingluo Heaven City and handed it over to Chang Guqiu to manage. Wendy, I plan to leave the Xingluo continent with Senior Jiang tomorrow and return to the Eastern continent. If there is a chance, we will meet at the Central World. Before leaving, Yi Chenfeng found Xiao Wendy and said, How do you know I want to go to the Central World? Xiao Wendy blinked her big eyes and asked in surprise, You and I are the same kind of people, and we will not be limited to this world. If we want to ascend to the heaven realm, we have to go to the Central World. Yi Chenfeng said with a smile, I didn't think you would know me that well. Xiao Wendy showed 2 cute little dimples and said, Then we will meet at the Central World. After saying goodbye to Xiao Wendy, Yi Chenfeng settled down in the Xingluo Heaven City. Then, accompanied by Kong Sungchun, Bai Feng, and Zheng Biyue, he left the Xingluo continent. Mobile reading website. Book address. To make it easier for you to read next time, you can click Save at the bottom to record this reading. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 990. Seagulls, Blue Sky, and Boundless Sea. Watermark advertisement. Test watermark advertisement. Test. The 3 ships were like giant blades, cutting through the waves and tearing apart the blue sea. Finally, a boundless continent was faintly discernible in the thick sea fog. Northern Spiritual Region. I'm finally back. Nigang, how are you? Yi Chenfeng stood on the deck of the ship and looked at the continent in the distance. The image of Yu Nichang's beautiful face unconsciously appeared in his mind. After leaving Xingluo continent, Yi Chenfeng was accompanied by Kong Sungqin and the other 2 level 6 beast emperors. They met up with the Misty Mountain and the Fu family who were guarding Slaughter City, 3-Star Island, and took the ship back to the Duhan continent. In the few months after returning to the Northern Spiritual Region, Yi Chenfeng had refined 3 great Dao pills that were over 200,000 years old that he had obtained from the Imperial Mausoleum of Xingluo. Ling Yu and Fu Qinshan had both broken through to level 3 beast emperors. When Ling Yu had broken through, he had attracted the terrifying 1,000 lightning tribulation. After passing through the 1,000 lightning tribulation, Ling Yu's strength had increased by more than 10 times. His strength had reached 70 million Jin, which was enough to defeat an ordinary level 5 beast emperor. Boss, you can't wait to go to the Yu family and make them submit to you, beg you to forgive their ignorance, then marry Miss Yu in the Yu family and live happily ever after with her, right? The Chaos Divine Beast laid lazily on the deck and looked at Yi Chenfeng, who was slightly excited, and said with a big mouth, If the Yu family doesn't know what's good for them and does something to harm Nikhang, I don't mind making them disappear from the Eastern continent. Although the Yu family was an 8th rank Holy Land, their overall strength was far inferior to Xingluo Sky City. Even compared to Jiangbai's Jasper Palace, there was still a big gap. With Yi Chenfeng's current strength, it was enough to eliminate the Yu family. Boss, you're getting more and more domineering. I like the Chaos Divine Beast howled. The 3 ships moved faster and faster. Soon, the 3 ships sailed into a busy harbor in the northern continent with a large number of fishing boats avoiding them. Sister Wandering, have you really decided to return to the old site of Misty Mountain and rebuild there? Yi Chenfeng asked softly as the group of people got off the ship. He came to the side of the tall and slender Shui Piaoling, who was dressed in a dark green silk dress. Yes, I've discussed it with Master and the others. Misty Mountain is our route. We can't give it up. Shui Piaoling nodded and said, although the ethereal wonderland was destroyed, it came from the heaven realm after all. It would not be completely destroyed. So we decided to rebuild the ethereal mountain on the old site. All right, since you have decided, we will go to the old site of the Misty Mountain first. After helping you rebuild it, I will go to the eastern continent, Yi Chenfeng said. Thank you, Shui Piaoling said gratefully. She was very touched that Yi Chenfeng was willing to waste time for them. As the group flew toward the old site of Misty Mountain, Yi Chenfeng's powerful soul suddenly sensed a dozen flying spiritual beasts flying toward them from behind a towering mountain in the distance. We can't go on. Our cyan-winged birds are on the verge of death. If we fly for another hour, they will explode and die. A young man with a pale face covered in blood, who was a level 3 defiant beast king, looked at the dozen men in black behind him and said tiredly and anxiously, Senior Brother Feng Hen, what should we do? I don't want to die yet. A young girl in a white dress with a bleeding arm said in despair. Large amounts of tears welled up in her eyes. She was about to cry. Let's fight with them. Even if I die, I will take one of them with me. A big man with a full beard gritted his teeth and said. He looked like he was going to fight with his life on the line. That's right. Even if we die, we can't embarrass the Sky Cloud sect. There are no cowards in the Sky Cloud sect. Lu Yan'an nodded and said, Everyone, calm down and heal quickly. When they catch up, we will fight them to the death. As soon as Lu Yan'an finished speaking, many martial artists' faces showed despair and helplessness. Two pretty girls were so scared that they trembled and shed tears. There were people. Why were there so many people in front of them? When the Sky Cloud sect's people rode their dying cyan-winged birds and flew over the towering and majestic mountain peak, they were shocked. They saw a dense crowd of people appear in front of them, directly sealing off the void, blocking their path. Just as they were in a panic and hesitating whether to take the risk, they saw Yi Chenfeng, Shui Piaoling, and the others' familiar faces. Their eyes widened in shock and disbelief. Yes, it's the people from Misty Mountain. They're back. We are saved. Lu Yan'an and the others didn't expect that they would meet people from Misty Mountain at this moment of life and death. They activated their cyan-winged bird's potential and quickly flew over. Retreat. The 10 men in black who were chasing after them were shocked when they saw the dense crowd of people in front of them. They immediately gave up the idea of chasing and wanted to retreat quickly. Chaos, stop them. Don't let them get away. Yi Chenfeng's eyes flashed coldly. He looked at the 10 men in black who were running away and ordered. Leave it to me, boss. The divine beast of chaos roared. Its huge body sped up. With a terrifying demonic power, it intercepted the dozen men in black. Die. Blocked by the chaos divine beast, the 10 men in black all took out their weapons and attacked the chaos divine beast with all their strength, trying to force it to retreat. After merging with the white tiger skeleton, the chaos divine beast became extremely terrifying. The 10 men in black's attacks couldn't hurt it at all. Howl! With a roar that pierced through clouds and cracked rocks, the chaos divine beast's roar knocked out the 10 men in black and several huge flying spiritual beasts. They blacked out and fell from the sky, unconscious on the ground. Thank you, Sect Master Shui. Thank you for saving my life. Seeing the chaos divine beast knock out the 10 men in black with one roar, Lu Yan'an was shocked and also very happy. He let out a long sigh and said gratefully, Yan'an, what happened? Who is chasing after you? How is your flowing cloud sect? Shui Piaomiao looked at the heavily injured flowing cloud sect's eldest disciple, Lu Yan'an, and asked, Sigh, Sect Master Shui, in these years when you disappeared, the northern spirit region has been attacked by the flames of war. Not only was my flowing cloud sect destroyed by those bastards of the western continent, but the Soar Valley also suffered heavy casualties. Now that the northern spirit region is controlled by the western demon sect, we can only be displaced and hide. Lu Yan'an sighed softly and told her about the situation of the northern spirit region. The northern spirit region was controlled by the western demon sect. Yi Chenfeng raised his eyebrows and said, Is Mo Fengyan also in the northern spirit region? Yes, I heard that Mo Fengyan is cultivating at the old site of Misty Mountain. Now, his strength has become even more terrifying. Lu Yan'an said, This Mo Fengyun must have found a great opportunity at the old site of Misty, Immortal Realm. Otherwise, he wouldn't have stayed here for so long. Yi Qinfeng slightly raised the corner of his mouth and said, "Let's go. Let's go to Misty Mountain and meet our old friends." After speaking, Yi Qinfeng waved his hand and killed the 10 men in black whose hands were stained with the blood of the Northern Spirit Region martial artists. Then, he led everyone to Misty Mountain. "I'm finally back. Please give me a red packet." Mobile reading site. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. Next time you open the bookshelf, you will see it. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 991. The Misty Mountain was finally back. After several days of traveling, Yi Qinfeng and his group flew back to the old site of the Misty Mountain. Looking at the endless and undulating Misty Mountain and the spiritual energy of heaven and earth surrounding the peaks, Yi Qinfeng said lightly, "I didn't expect Mo Fengyun to help us rebuild the Misty Mountain and restore the vitality here. This saved us a lot of trouble. Let's go into the mountain." With that, Yi Qinfeng and his group flew into the lush and ancient Misty Mountain. How dare you? This was the West Devil sect. Outsiders would be killed without mercy. Just as Yi Qinfeng was about to tear the restriction on the Misty Mountain, an angry roar sounded. More than 10 disciples of the West Devil sect walked out of the restriction on the mountain. However, when they saw hundreds of Misty Mountain disciples, they were obviously shocked. From today onwards, there was no West Devil sect in the Northern Spirit region. Yi Qinfeng said domineeringly. He waved his arm lightly, and a large number of sword Dao patterns fell down like mercury, killing more than 10 West Devil sect disciples. Then, Yi Qinfeng reached out with his hand, and the will of the 5 elements gushed out of his body and transformed into a giant hand of the 5 elements. It slammed down fiercely, and the terrifying power of the will of the 5 elements directly tore apart the restriction hidden in the mountain. After tearing apart the outer restriction, Yi Qinfeng and his group immediately flew into the Misty Mountain. When they broke through several restrictions and arrived at the peak of the Misty Mountain, they found that the peak was shrouded in a terrifying array. Faintly discernible formation runes flickered in the void, sealing off the entire void. Well, they didn't expect Mo Fengyun to set up such a powerful array. Feeling the power of the forbidden space array before them, Yi Qinfeng's eyes shot out beams of light. The power of the God-Eater brain radiated out completely, deducing the power of the forbidden space array before them. Whoosh! An ear-piercing sound broke through the air. Yi Qinfeng's eyes locked on one point. He quickly drew out his sword. A sword light of several feet long shot out and pierced forward. Crack! The terrifying forbidden space array was attacked by Yi Qinfeng's sword. It shattered like glass, and a large number of cracks spread out at a speed visible to the naked eye. The devil concentrates the moment the forbidden space array shattered. Yi Qinfeng saw Mo Qianxin, who was controlling the array core. Mo Qianxin was Mo Fengyun's clone. His existence was enough to prove that Mo Fengyun was in Misty Mountain. "Where are you going?" Mo Qianxin immediately tried to flee, but Yi Qinfeng was even faster. Using his absolute power, he pierced through the broken restriction and chased after Mo Qianxin. "Stop! If you come any closer, we'll kill them." Just as Yi Qinfeng was about to catch up to Mo Qianxin, more than 10 Western Devil Sect experts appeared, holding more than 10 skinny martial artists hostage. These martial artists were all Misty Mountain disciples who had not left with Shui Piaoling back then. "Don't hurt them. If you dare to hurt them, I'll make sure you die a horrible death." Shui Piaoling and the others who were following closely behind, Yi Qinfeng slightly changed their expressions. They glared at the West Devil Sect's experts and warned loudly, "I can let them go, but you have to leave Misty Mountain. Otherwise, we will kill them immediately." Mo Qianxin coldly threatened Yi Qinfeng as he looked coldly at him. "Oomph, you think you can threaten me?" Yi Qinfeng sneered. Soul force erupted from his mind, forming a terrifying, dizzying force. Like a heavy hammer, It smashed into the soul seas of the Western devil sex experts who were holding Shui Piaoling's disciples hostage. Bang! 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 After being hit by Yi Chunfeng's dizzying attack, the soul seas of the Western devil sex experts immediately exploded. A large amount of blood spurted out from their exploded heads. They fell into a pool of blood and died. Seeing Yi Chunfeng kill more than 10 Western devil sex experts without batting an eyelid, Mo Qinshin's eyes widened as if he had seen a ghost. Just as he regained his senses and turned to flee, a faint light flashed before his eyes. Yi Chunfeng appeared in front of him at a speed that was beyond his imagination and landed a punch on his body, sending him flying. "Chunfeng, watch out!" The instant Yi Chunfeng sent Mo Qinshin flying, a blood shadow suddenly appeared. With a speed faster than light, it emitted a piercing sound wave as it attacked Yi Chunfeng. Demonic ghost chains despite the scarlet blood heavenly bat's close attack, Yi Chunfeng did not panic. Ignoring the piercing sound wave, 5 black demonic ghost chains shot out from Yi Chunfeng's body like 5 black dragons, coiling around the scarlet blood heavenly bat. After breaking through to the 4th grade combat Beast Emperor realm, Yi Chunfeng's strength had reached a terrifying level. The demonic ghost chains that he condensed were even more powerful, directly sealing off the scarlet blood heavenly bat's escape route, binding it and preventing it from moving. So powerful. Chunfeng has actually become so powerful. Seeing Yi Chunfeng easily bind the scarlet blood heavenly bat, Shui Piaoling and the rest sucked in a breath of cold air. They had never imagined that in just 3 years, Yi Chunfeng would grow to such a level to be able to easily suppress a 8th grade heavenly beast. Mo Qinshin, tell me where Mo Fengyun is. If you cooperate, I can spare your life. Yi Chunfeng looked at Mo Qinshin, who was lying on the ground with his chest deformed, and asked without allowing any resistance. Yi Chunfeng originally wanted to release his soul spirit to find Mo Fengyun. However, when his soul spirit covered the entire Misty Peak, he could not find Mo Fengyun. He had no choice but to interrogate Mo Qinshin. Faced with Yi Chunfeng's interrogation, Mo Qinshin ignored it and closed his eyes, pretending to be dead. "Do you think that by pretending to be dead, I can't do anything to you?" Yi Chunfeng sneered and appeared beside Mo Qinshin. He condensed the demonic ghost chains to bind Mo Qinshin's body and borrowed the power of the God-Eater brain to search his soul. At this moment, in an independent space deep in the ruins of the ethereal immortal realm, Mo Fengyun, who was wearing a black robe and soaking in a pool, suddenly opened his eyes and frowned. He was trying to break through to the level 5 Beast Emperor realm. "Yi Chunfeng, you are indeed my fated enemy. In just 3 years, you have grown to such a level." After witnessing Yi Chunfeng's astonishing strength through Mo Qinshin, Mo Fengyun revealed a dignified and surprised expression. Although he had found a lot of opportunities in the misty immortal realm ruins, and his strength had increased, he was only a step away from breaking through to the 5th grade Beast Emperor. He also had a huge trump card. However, Yi Chunfeng had too many helpers. He had no choice but to avoid him. "Yi Chunfeng, sooner or later, I will kill you and send you to hell with my own hands." Mo Fengyun swore in his heart. Feeling the threat from Yi Chunfeng, Mo Fengyun had no choice but to give up the idea of breaking through to the 5th grade Beast Emperor and leave quickly. However, when he stealthily opened the space restriction and left through the escape route he had dug earlier, 2 extremely sharp sword rays cut through the space. One sword sealed off his escape route, while the other slashed at him, forcing him to dodge quickly. In the next moment, a huge hand of Tao fell from the sky with unparalleled destructive power. It broke through the thick layers and restricted space and grabbed at Mo Fengyun, forcing him out of the misty immortal realm. "Mo Fengyun, we meet again. Where are you going?" Yi Chunfeng put his hands behind his back and looked at Mo Fengyun, who had a dignified and gloomy expression, and said with a faint smile, "Yi Chunfeng, I didn't expect you would dare to come back." Mo Fengyun frowned and said in a low voice, "Why wouldn't I dare to come back?" Yi Chunfeng sneered and said overbearingly, This time, I will see who can stop me. Mobile reading website. Book address. In order to make it easier for you to read next time, you can click the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support. Chapter 992. Fine. Let me see how strong you are now. Mo. Fengyun's spiritual beast, the golden eyes, fiendish python, emerged from his body and hovered above his head. It spat out its long forked tongue and glared at Yi Chenfeng. Watermark advertisement, test watermark advertisement test. I didn't expect your spiritual beast to mutate and turn into a flood dragon. Yi Chenfeng didn't look surprised when he saw the horn on the forehead of Mo. Fengyun's spiritual beast, the golden eyes, fiendish python. No matter how strong Mo. Fengyun was, he couldn't threaten him. Sky Fiend Dao, Soldier Mo. Fengyun quickly merged with the golden eyes, fiendish python, and slashed at Yi Chenfeng with the Sky Fiend Dao soldier. He wanted to capture him and take him away. The low-grade Dao weapon seemed a little shabby now. In the past, the low-grade Dao weapon could be considered the #1 treasure in the Western continent. But now, Yi Chenfeng had robbed Xingluo Sky City and Sun Luo Hall. He had more than 10 mid-grade Dao weapons and even more low-grade Dao weapons. Courting death. When Mo. Fengyun saw that Yi Chenfeng blocked the attack of the Sky Fiend Dao soldier with his bare hand, his eyes were filled with murderous intent. 40 saber Dao patterns merged with the Sky Fiend Dao soldier and increased its power. He wanted to slash Yi Chenfeng's hand off. But Yi Chenfeng's hand was comparable to a mid-grade Dao weapon. The Sky Fiend Dao soldier slashed at it with irresistible force, but it couldn't hurt his hand. Mo. Fengyun felt as if his saber had slashed at the hardest black iron. A strong force passed through the Sky Fiend Dao soldier and into his arm. It cracked the web between his thumb and index finger, and there was a trace of numbness in his arm. What? How is this possible? Mo. Fengyun's eyes widened. He couldn't believe that Yi Chenfeng's physical body was so strong that his saber attack couldn't hurt him at all. Nothing is impossible. Today, I will let you know how big the gap between our strength is. As he spoke, Yi Chenfeng stretched out his hand. The Dao will of the 5 elements gushed out and turned into a huge, colorful hand that covered the sky. With an unparalleled sense of oppression, it suppressed Mo. Fengyun. 8 heavens of the 5 elements Dao, intent after witnessing over 85 elemental Dao patterns gushing out from Yi Chenfeng's body. Mo. Fengyun's heart was in turmoil. He couldn't believe that in just a few years, Yi Chenfeng had grown to such an extent. He frantically dodged with all his might. In his heart, there was even a trace of regret. He regretted that he didn't go all out to kill Yi Chenfeng back then. But now he had no way out. If he couldn't defeat Yi Chenfeng, only death would await him. Boom! The palm of 5 elements smashed down, directly distorting the void. Waves of powerful space power surged in all directions and heavily bombarded Mo. Fengyun, who could not dodge in time. The impact caused his chi and blood to churn, and a stream of blood flowed out from the corner of his mouth. Mo. Fengyun, when we meet again, you have truly disappointed me. If your strength is only at this level, you don't even have the qualifications to submit to me. The 6-soul devour brain was left for him. But if Mo. Fengyun's strength and potential could not satisfy Yi Chenfeng, then Yi Chenfeng would not waste such a precious soul devour brain on him. Demon heart, bloodline ignition, beast soul, form Mo. Fengyun wiped the blood flowing out from the corner of his mouth and quickly ignited his demon heart and bloodline power. He transformed into his strongest beast soul form and fought with all his might. Yi Chenfeng, I want you dead. Mo. Fengyun, who was filled with demonic aura, roared. He raised the Dao intent he had comprehended to the extreme and raised his attack power to the greatest extent. He slashed at Yi Chenfeng. The power of this slash is passable, but it is still far from enough to hurt me. Yi Chenfeng stood in silence, allowing Mo. Fengyun to slash at him. Just as Mo. Fengyun's slash was about to hit Yi Chenfeng's head, A layer of golden defensive light enveloped Yi Qinfeng's body, further increasing his attack power. Chi! The sound of cloth being torn was heard. Mo Fengyun had used all his strength to tear apart the golden body technique. But when the Sky Demon Dao weapon, whose power had been reduced to the extreme, slashed at Yi Qinfeng's head, it could not hurt him at all. Seeing Yi Qinfeng's shocking strength, Mo Fengyun was terrified. He instinctively wanted to retreat, but the moment he retreated, Yi Qinfeng took a step forward. A strange sword diagram appeared under his feet. A large number of sword Dao patterns shot out and attacked Mo Fengyun like a rain of swords. They broke through his defense like a hot knife through butter and sent him flying. When Mo Fengyun was injured by Yi Qinfeng's sword steps, he suddenly locked his eyes on the beautiful and elegant Bai Xia, who was wearing a snow-white dress. He wanted to use her to threaten Yi Qinfeng and fight for a chance to survive. Suddenly, Zhang Yue, who was wearing a phoenix robe, stood in front of him. The power that erupted from her body made Mo Fengyun feel as if his liver and guts were being torn apart. Sixth-grade battle beast, Emperor Mo Fengyun's heart trembled. He did not dare to get close to Zhang Yue and quickly turned back. But at this moment, Yi Qinfeng suddenly approached him and clamped his right hand on his shoulder like a clamp. Then, with a force of tens of millions of pounds, Yi Qinfeng threw Mo Fengyun, who had lost control of his body, to the ground. He smashed a huge hole in the ground, and a large amount of blood gushed out from his body. Immortal state energy, Fusion Mo Fengyun's body was severely injured again and again. He used his last trump card. He borrowed the power of the demon heart and forcibly fused the immortal state energy from the ethereal immortal realm into his body. He suppressed his injuries and stimulated his body's potential to increase his strength. Sky Demon Slash of 10 directions after using the immortal state energy to increase his cultivation level. Mo Fengyun ignored his injuries and slashed out the cross blade slash. It split the void and slashed towards Yi Qinfeng. Boom! Yi Qinfeng quickly punched out. The terrifying fist smashed the Sky Demon Slash of 10 directions and appeared in front of Mo Fengyun under his horrified gaze. Heavenly demons dance in all directions as Yi Qinfeng closed in. Mo Fengyun unleashed his ultimate move. 8 Sky Devil Saber lights slashed down, carrying with them the power to destroy everything, aiming for Yi Qinfeng. Yi Qinfeng's pupils constricted as the 8 heavenly demonic saber auras slashed down. He quickly struck out with his palm. The terrifying will of the Wei turned into a ferocious, illusory dragon that tore through the heavenly demonic saber auras. It landed heavily on Mo Fengyun's body, severely injuring him and sending him flying. Mo Fengyun smelled the threat of death after suffering so many injuries. However, he did not accept his fate. He quickly took out a pitch-black heaven fruit the size of a longan fruit and swallowed it. He had found this heaven fruit in the ruins of the misty, immortal realm. Because the spirit energy it contained was too strong, he had never dared to consume it. But now he had no choice but to go all out. In the next moment, his body swelled up. Large amounts of blood and energy flowed out of his pores. The immense pain made his entire face contort. As Mo Fengyun's strength increased, Yi Qinfeng closed in again. He unleashed 25 million pounds of strength and the will of the Wei of the 5 elements to attack Mo Fengyun with all his might. He completely suppressed Mo Fengyun's attack, ravaged his body, and sent his swollen body flying again and again. Mo Fengyun's body was ravaged, but his body's potential was stimulated bit by bit under Yi Qinfeng's tide-like attacks. Suddenly, a thunderous roar resounded across the sky. The dazzling sun was covered by rapidly gathering dark clouds. Under Yi Qinfeng's ferocious attacks, Mo Fengyun was on the verge of death. His potential was completely stimulated. After absorbing a large amount of the heaven fruit's energy, Mo Fengyun attracted heaven's punishment. Mobile reading site. Book address. To facilitate your next reading, you can click on the Save button at the bottom to record this reading record. You will be able to see it the next time you open the bookshelf. Please recommend this book to your friends, QQ, blog, WeChat, etc. Thank you for your support.